Welcome to the Doom City of Granitegard here on the Guardtower Presents. This is our weekly fantasy action adventure roleplay, and we stream every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Twitch, and then we post those to YouTube on Friday evenings, so you can check them out there. And if you're interested in everything that has to do with the Doom City of Granitegard, you can head over to our Linktree address, and it's up on the screen. I think those of you that might be listening, that is linktr.ee /DCOGs. Once again, that is linktr.ee/DCOG. You can find links to the Guard Tower's Twitch as well as our YouTube channel. You can find our X, our Patreon, as well as our Discord channel where you can talk to the cast and crew. Tell us what you're interested in. We'd like to hear back from you on that. So if you like what we're doing, a follow here on Twitch, or like and subscribe on YouTube would be absolutely fantastic. So we help our channel grow on that. And so speaking of the Guard Tower, we're talking about that. The Guard Tower's new location is currently open, and that is here on off of Hilliard Road and Nike Drive. And the address is 5514 Nike Drive on that. They have a lot of crazy events that are going on to open up the new store. It has a massive sales floor, as well as a great place for you to meet your friends and play games out in their gaming area out there. And speaking of the Guard Tower, if you can't make it out to the Guard Tower, you can always visit the Guard Tower online at theguardtower.com. And that's, once again, theguardtower.com. You have full range to all of the products that they offer, which is everything from board games to card games, dice, minis, paints, the whole nine yards. So you can pick that up there, and you can have access to their community of players. They can find some group of people that are interested in the same things you are. So maybe you can find your next adventure there at the Guard Tower. You can even come see the studio. And if you head over here on this side of town, you can head over to the east side. Right up at 270 and Main Street is the east location, and they also have a plethora of games as well as a wonderful gaming community there. So definitely check that out. Tonight we have minis from our friend Chris Wolfgang over at Glittering Cave Studio as well. Chris! I know he thought... I know what horrible... That would be terrifying. That would be amazing, actually. I know he's going to be eager to see how you guys interact with his little friends this evening on that. Yeah. Our map is courtesy of Warlock tiles. They're really easy to use system.
It's because they lock together.
Yes, 4 games and locking tiles. Warlock.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You can
It's
make
the season to lock it down with tiles.
You can make towns, taverns. You've got dungeons, the whole 9 yards. But our friend Chris Fields has made all kinds of special little things to add to our map to make it quite exciting. Because it's going to be nothing but rainbows and unicorns tonight for everybody to play. Happy presents and joy, right?
Yep.
I'm concerned by how many aliens.
White men, baby.
Oh yeah. Aliens. No, those are friendship circles.
No, there's
Yeah.
decorative AoEs.
Exactly. Yes. I think that kind of wrapped up. Oh wait, Pocket Bard has music that we're using with Pocket Bard,
Yeah.
and so that would be fantastic. If you haven't picked up Pocket Bard today, it's a quick and easy to use app. Grab it at the Google Play or the Apple App Store, and put that on your phone there, and bring some magic to your own gaming table. You can go from exploration over to combat. They've got all kinds of genres and scapes for you to utilize with your own players there. But that wraps up everything I had to say as far as the announcement portion goes. Roger, is there anything that I missed this evening?
No, I'm just really excited to see how those friendship circles work out for us.
Dude, friendship circles are the absolute best. So let's go ahead and roll our intro and get back. We'll hop into a bit of a recap and then onward to friendship circles. So we'll see you here shortly.
Yeah.
Once the seat of economic and political power in the Northern Territories, the city of Granitegard fell in one catastrophic moment of terror and bloodshed. In the quiet hours of the night, the massive granite mesa that served as the city's namesake exploded violently, the debris reducing entire swaths of the city to ruin. Before the inhabitants could even comprehend what had happened, they were blindsided by an army of monstrosities surging from the sewers and into the city streets. The militia valiantly attempted to protect the fleeing citizens, but their efforts were futile against the overwhelming tide of bloodthirsty creatures. And in the midst of the chaos, the city gates slammed shut, turning Granitegard into a death trap for anyone that remained behind the high, fortified walls that had been meant to protect them. For over a decade, it has stood as silent as a tomb, and shrouded in a perpetual mist. No one has entered, and nothing human has ever come out. That is, until now. 12 years to the day since the fall of Granitegard, the Trader's Gate has opened. The news has spread like wildfire across the human crescent. And like a siren's call, fortune hunters from far and wide have been drawn by the possibility of untold riches lying just inside the city walls, daring the foolish and the brave to risk it all at a chance of wealth beyond their wildest dreams. It has also stirred the interest of old rivals. With no one from the original bloodline to claim the mantle of leadership of Granitegard, plans are forming in the dark. Powerful forces seek to play their games of state, as the lives of everyone in the north hangs in the balance. And in the midst of this all, 6 strangers have been drawn to Granitegard by something other than riches or power. Their destiny is tied to the events surrounding the fall of the city. Each of them must confront the past in order to find a way forward. Each of them must search for answers in the doomed city of Granitegard.
Welcome back. And I said, and after I said, welcome back. See, my producer is teaching me how this works. I figure after 400 episodes, I'd pick that up. But anyway, you know,
I saw him slightly off screen going, deuce.
so as we last left off,
Thematic components.
our party had gone to the courthouse in Granitegard to seek out the writ of lineage. They were forced into a sham of a court hearing in front of the monstrous triumvirate,
So you remember
having to defend their actions in a case that was obviously stacked against them.
obviously.
During the trial, Mary was whisked away to face Malacindus. The Dark Queen offered Mary a place by her side, informing her that she could see the power of her own blood coursing through Mary's veins, being that she was the daughter of Malacindus's only child. Lucky you on that. Mary declined Malacindus's offer, and the Dark Queen warned that Mary would no longer be under her protection and be at the mercy of her forces within the city of Granitegard.
You were protected.
Yeah.
Malacindus also stated that Skeech may or may not have been aware that he was acting as a spy for the Dark Queen. When Mary returned to the party,
Visibility quote now.
They had just defeated the triumvirate, and she was happy to be reunited with her friend. But she was certainly shaken from the experience. Our heroes met Reginald Pennington in a tiny room beneath the triumvirate stand. He had been trapped in an undead form, forced to perform eternal bureaucratic paperwork, and he longed for the release of death. Realizing who Vahn was, he revealed a special clause that he had worked into the paperwork for not only King George, but also Bashira's writ of lineage, tipping off the young sovereign that the ring of Hengrid could trump the claims of the other suitors to the throne. Moved by compassion, Vahn, Mary, and the Reverend found a way to free the poor soul from his torment. Though needing a rest, the party returned to Los Estate, only to find that one of Skeech's goblins had turned the place into a party house filled with much debauchery and mayhem. After clearing the estate, the party rested the night
With concussive maintenance.
with concussive maintenance, yes, deciding that they would return to the Guardtower and bring Darlin, Argyle, Pennington, and the rest of Skeech's goblin crew to safety outside of the city.
Have names.
And it is here, yes, they have names. They do have names. One does not remember his name currently. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
This is where we pick up this evening here in the tower. So, Mary, I do believe that there was something that was troubling you where we had last left off. So would you please pick up from there?
Yes. Hi, everyone. I have something that I would like to address as a group. And it's quite serious, but also quite sensitive. And I'd like you to all just hear me out, okay? So, when Malacindus whisked me out of the courtroom, and she offered me a place by her side, one of the things that she mentioned in this conversation was that she's using one of us as a spy. Now, she did say whether they know it or not. My belief is that if one of us is being used as a spy, that we don't know it. However, I don't feel that we have the luxury to ignore that. How do I say this? I think that we have to know for sure. But I believe that Melisandus's main intention of telling me this was to create strife and division amongst our group, which I want to avoid at all costs. Not only because it would fuel Melisandus, right, and give her an upper hand, but also because you guys are the only family I have, and I value and care for each of you, and I want to preserve what we have together. We've been through a lot. So because of this, and I've had a night to kind of consider what the best way to go about addressing this in a way that will preserve both our group and as well as our goals to stop Melisandus. The best thing I could come up with was to make this person anonymous and figure this out as a group.
What are you proposing exactly then, Mary?
I would like to draw a zone of truth on the ground, and I would like us to all step into it together.
So you know who it is and you want us to interrogate each other?
I don't want to interrogate. I would like to plainly, unless you guys have a better idea, I would like to plainly ask the question of whether anybody is working with Melisandus. And obviously it's not, as I said, I believe that everyone will just say no. And if this is even true, that we wouldn't know. But I feel that this is a necessary precaution because these are high stakes, right? I want to preserve our relationship with all of you. However, this is the end of the world. And if I were to, compare the importance of our relationships versus, destroying Melisandus and saving Granitegard, I feel that I don't have much of a choice.
Well, first of all,
Yes, do you have something to share?
what I wanted to say was I need you to stop looking at me that way, Anna, because
Okay.
it's not me.
Are you sure? Okay, all right. We would figure it out if it were you, though. It would be all right.
I don't think we need to start pointing fingers.
Pointing, I was just inviting.
If your eyes were a disintegration beam, I've been disintegrated, is all I'm saying.
We're all on the same team, okay? This is just a precaution.
Well, I think what you're telling us is that maybe one of us isn't on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
If you draw the circle, I will step into it. What is the problem with us stepping into the circle? It's nothing to hide.
Okay.
Again, I feel like you keep looking at me like I don't know what I feel like I have not conducted myself in a way
Reverend,
to
we're all
arouse this suspicion.
I would like to make this clear, though. If there is one among us working knowingly or not with Melisandus, they are a threat to all of us and the outcome of this. If there is an infected limb, you cut it off before the wound spreads.
Okay, well,
You don't have to kill them,
okay.
but they can no longer be a threat to us if we know about this.
Above the table question,
If-
GM. This is after my tour with Darlene. I'm in the room, right? Okay.
I can't, based on what you've shared with Lois and Mary, I can't help but point out just one small issue with this. If there is someone who is unknowingly aiding Melisandus, then this process solves nothing, and it has to become more directed.
Yes,
True.
and we'll get to that when it comes to that. But can we just get through this precaution and then we can figure out together how to break whatever connection one of us may have?
Just draw the circle.
Great. I'm going to draw a 15-foot zone of truth.
Takes a bit of time, but in the end, very nicely constructed circle stands before you.
Okay, I will walk in. Please.
You recite the prayers and activate it.
Oh, yes.
All right.
I'm standing at the edge of the circle.
Echo steps in.
I also step in.
I'll wait until you go in. It's just fine.
I'm not in it.
Griffin steps in.
How do we know Melancholic is incredibly powerful?
Mhm.
How do we know that we aren't walking into the trap that she's late for us? That even with your immense power and connection to the one God, even that this couldn't be part of her illusion.
Reverend, are you? And like the idea of this being like a remarkably mysterious puzzle is somehow like illuminating to Vahn. Reverend, are you implying that you think that somehow when Melancholic took Mary, that this could be everything we're attempting here, this could fail because of Melancholic's influence?
Her evil is everywhere. It suffuses this place.
Actually, I can check that. What a great idea. Okay. I'd like to activate
I
my
guess that's true.
sense good and evil.
Sense good and evil?
Yeah.
All right. As you activate your sense good and
Yeah.
evil,
Uh-huh.
go ahead and tell me how you feel, Vahn. Do you feel you're good or evil?
Vahn is a good boy.
I would say that's a pretty apt.
Boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very obviously takes the meter towards the good side.
Nice.
Skeech is definitely towards the neutral end of the equation.
Actually, don't show up.
Oh.
So
All right.
And Yip certainly is on the good end of the spectrum.
Okay.
Echo, how would you feel that you are? Are you a good or evil man?
He's pretty neutral, but in a good way.
Oh,
Definitely say that he leans towards the neutral good side of the house.
Yeah.
sick.
And while they're
It's a three-dimensional space.
as you look over to Damon definitely takes towards the good side.
Aw.
Or dumb.
And surprisingly enough, while the Reverend does seem to have a selfish streak, he also takes towards the
So
good
we
side.
murdered that man.
wait a minute. Hold on a minute. We're bad dudes. Does that make a difference?
Negative. Hartman definitely shines very brightly.
No.
Diminishing aura.
Are there any presences in the room with us currently?
Currently, no, there doesn't appear to be a presence.
Yeah, no, I think honestly, we're pretty good. Like, on average speaking. Yeah. So
Okay.
no, not as much evil suffusing this space as there could be, I guess. Yeah. Forecast of evil low to mid 50s moving forward.
My
For the front, move it.
Yeah.
My concern remains that we all step into this circle. We start questioning each other. One or more of us come out as Melancholic's agent.
Yeah.
I still feel like how can we trust that?
How can we trust that? That's why I drew the circle. I'm confused.
It's not infallible.
And
I think that's what
True.
you're getting at, right?
to be fair, you're the one who drew it.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Does anyone else know Zone of Truth?
Truth ain't really my.
Okay, this is a precaution, and this is the best that we've got, unless anybody else has any other ideas.
If somebody's
I don't-
familiar with Arcana, they could make a check to
Sure.
make sure the circle was drawn correctly.
Take a look at it.
I could look at it.
Make the roll. I'm assuming you're going to do that with with the advantage because somebody's going to assist.
I want to make my own.
Oh, then you are more than welcome to make your own.
You want to work together?
Sure, you can make it.
Okay, cool.
You can make the roll with advantage. Each
With 11 over here.
with 11.
Nat 20. Oh,
Here,
What total?
100. I want to know.
9,000.
Nat 21. Nat 31.
Wow.
Roll a 31 on that.
Yeah, that's very well constructed circle. You don't even have any critiques to offer on it. You're very impressed with the way she did the lining and the whole 9 yards.
Wow.
Perfect circle. Yes.
Hey, yeah. That's what I was going to say.
She looks really perfect, actually. Thanks.
all right. Well,
Color.
On Vahn, mainly.
how about
Just circles all over my back.
Wow.
Huh.
Wow.
put a pin
How
in
many
that?
questions?
How about this? And I take a deep breath and close my eyes and step in the zone of
All
truth.
right. I'll step in.
I just don't really like zones of truth. It's not my thing.
Yipp's already in it.
I'll stand by you and I will use detect magic to try to, as Anna did, sense any interference from
Oh.
outside forces.
Interesting.
All right, before you start asking any other questions, I want to make something clear. If it comes to light that someone has been affected or cursed or otherwise is being manipulated by Malacindus, Echo, I understand the sentiment you shared of separating the room when there's an infection, but I think we could try to find out if there's a way to sever the connection more philosophically than literally.
If it's possible. Definitely preferable.
All right, I'll start.
Okay.
All right.
Have you ever knowingly provided Malacindus information regarding our plans
Or whereabouts.
or whereabouts?
I think, in a way, we all have.
Please explain.
She's shown up multiple times. It's possible that everything we're doing is working with her. We know that from the Keystone. So it's not going to be a helpful question of, have we done things to...
Have we
To help.
knowingly?
We have. All of us have.
We're doing her plan. We're walking into a trap.
That's
knowing-
true. And friends, yeah.
This is something else.
The argument of semantics is one I'm quite
The
in
root
favor
of your
of.
question, I think, is, am I working with Malacindus? Is any of us working with her? The answer is yes, we all are. Are we working for her?
The question is information. She said that someone was spying.
She said that she is using one of us as a spy, whether they know it or not.
Keep it simple. Are you knowingly spying for Malacindus?
I'm not.
Wait.
I'm not working for Malacindus at all. Everything I've done has been for myself. Past the point when I met you guys.
Okay. Would like to go next.
I will step out of the circle.
Whoa. Wait a minute. As someone who has told many, many tall tales and truths,
There's a skill for that.
do I recognize that Skeech is being evasive at all?
Could I also roll insight?
Yeah, both of you can certainly roll into side on that. I will let you definitely, somebody who is a master at lies, roll for advantage.
I'm slamming that roll, but-
You know, it's those 10,000 hours. Yeah.
Oh, now we're good.
Thanks, Roger.
20.
20. The evasiveness may not be that he's trying to hide something, just that he is maybe a little guilty about his past. in association with things, maybe something along those lines. It didn't seem like he was willfully trying to hide that he was working with Melisendis. But obviously, when a question like this was brought up to him, it would strike Skeech in a way a bit different than the rest of you, given his background.
How would you describe, or maybe this would be best for Skeech to answer to Vahn, but how would you describe your emotional state? Because we have that bridge connected.
Guarded.
Mm.
In a word.
Argyle speaks up where he was sitting.
Oh.
And
What are you doing here, Mark?
well, you remember where you left him last time? He was right there. He said, if you don't mind me making an observation or interjection, sire, you do realize that you are dealing with a creature that deceit is one of her primary weapons. Well, Ellie's also sitting here as well, too. And so Steve.
Okay, everybody's in our room.
All are looking.
Yes. So would it not be within the realm to imagine that this was said essentially to damage the connection to the party?
That's what I feel like he's just saying the thing that I said a few minutes ago.
And that's what I pointed out.
Oh, yeah.
But we can't just leave it unquestioned.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I already went. This isn't fair.
This takes a minor bit of pressure off. I think that is all we can reasonably expect this to achieve.
Why not have them swear on something that they do not serve Melisendis? That would they would have to vow the truth on that, would they not?
What does Skeech love more than anything?
So the conference or the contraband.
Said that I'm working for myself.
But that's
Is that answer not
I
good
mean,
enough?
it's slightly different. I feel like it's because it's like it's not necessarily like exclusionary. I think that's really what
Skeech
Argyle's
is
talking for. Yeah.
looking at Skeech while saying this to the group. Skeech has already proved their loyalty and has made an oath of sorts as well.
He said his part. He's done.
Who's next?
All right. I solemnly swear that I am not working for Melisendis, and I really can't wait to hit something again. Yeah, right? What happens? Can you just not lie in here? Okay, great. Oh, fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, do you like get
So
like a light
you're able to deliver that without any sort of feeling that you were compelled to do something contrary to that. That seems to be the truth.
Fantastic. That's a wait. I was a little worried, honestly, just because, like, what if I didn't know? You know.
At the chair next to
Great, I'm gonna come sit down outside.
Get all these chairs.
Well, I guess I'll go next because I started this. I solemnly swear that I am not a spy knowingly for Melisendis. As she killed my family, so.
She's your family still.
Yeah, that's true.
If you could just finish the job.
There's a difference between speaking truth even not in the zone of truth. Like, wow,
I rarely lie to you.
Reverend,
that's true.
would you like to go next?
Fine. I swear on the Holy Spirit, spirits, that
And
my loyalty lies with me and me alone, not Melisendis.
I thought you loved us though.
It's true, you did say that.
You could say that.
comes to
Like you, you're cool.
Yeah.
Damon, should
I
be
swear that I am not working for Melisendis.
Echo.
I'm not working for Melisendis. I swear it. And my evidence is whatever is in this letter, she doesn't know it either. That's how I know she's not using me.
Oh wow.
I like that.
What?
Did you want to share with the class?
No.
I read it.
Definitely not.
No.
can I just has it?
If you wants to go.
I guess I can swear that I'm not willingly working for her either. To my knowledge, I'm not working for her at all.
Hmm.
Fine. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well.
On the line that was before and the line that will come after, I swear that I have not knowingly aided Melisendis. Stinger acknowledging that I've made some poor choices, which may have provided some intel based on connections, which it looks like outside the circle, Anna has reminded me of the presence that follows me everywhere.
I mean, it's not so bad, though. It's just absolute evil. It's not terrible.
I noticed you didn't look at me quite so intently this time.
I mean, it's just, I feel like I know it so well because it was seared into the, I know, it's just because it's fine. It's fine. That's why I just don't need to. And it wasn't here this time, actually. So that's why I just skipped over you.
Hey, Mary,
Yes.
why didn't you have any more questions for anybody else when they said stuff?
Well, I guess because. Cheers. I'm still in the zone.
You are compelled to say the truth or say something that avoids a lie.
Do we want to make the new guy step in?
That's a great idea.
You're not even standing in the circle.
Yeah.
Oh, so forth, right? Yeah.
And I just need you to know that this kind of initiation kind of ritual thing, it's not like a thing we do a lot.
I mean, I've known you guys for like 3 days, and I've been in 2 zones of truth.
We do.
So
We do this
Just-
to
yeah, say maybe sensing some trust.
The first one wasn't our fault.
Well,
It's not.
Regardless,
I don't think I was the. I feel that you gave a response that wasn't as clear, but we were also figuring out how to word things.
I basically said exactly what Reddy said.
The point of this was to maintain anonymity to spare everyone's feelings and our group. So, do you want to ask?
I think that.
Did anyone else feel like there's a lot going on that maybe isn't being like verbally spoken?
Yeah, I feel like we
Yeah.
were doing this to not be suspicious of each other, but I kind of feel like it's
yeah.
That was
I feel like speech is offended, and I feel like he's being kind of accused.
I think he
While
looked like
I'm in
he's
the
gonna
zone of
cry.
truth.
It was a really deeply personal moment that you saw there.
Mm.
I know. Oh, I should.
All I know, there is value in transparency. There's value in anonymity, but we're all adults.
looks at Yip Yip.
Yeah.
We're all adults and tiny children that are dragged on dangerous adventures.
No?
We have double checked the info that she wants to be here. So that's
Mhm.
conscious.
That's all you can do. Yep, that's all you can do. Regardless,
The children yearn.
I swear on all the people of Antheria and the one God that I am not knowingly spying or working with Mouse in this.
I mean, you were a spy.
Well, spying for Mouse in this. I was definitely spying for Antheria.
spying for a rival kingdom.
Wait.
Different thing.
Was it in a creepy way?
Yeah, well, was it in a creepy way?
Times it was no, it was mostly entirely not in a creepy way. The creepiness was circumstantial, my time.
Two.
It's good enough.
I can admit that.
You should step outside.
Two
of the
qualifying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel okay.
2 qualifiers.
Two.
That's 2 more than necessary.
I appreciate you guys doing this. I really do. And I hope that you can understand my intentions and my reason for doing this. I would not have even attempted this if the end of the world were not at stake.
I
Yes.
have an idea.
Yeah.
Why don't we all tell each other something that sounds important but is a lie, and then whichever thing comes up, we know that was the person that revealed to someone. We all have like a truth buddy, and only they know the thing that we said.
Oh, like in the case of doppelgangers or impersonators?
In case one of us is unknowingly giving information to Malacindus, if that information comes up again, we know where it came from.
But now that we've said that aloud, would they just not choose to share that one particular piece of information?
Well,
Yeah.
they won't know what the truth thing is between us. I could
down
say
in the
that I
chair.
like graham crackers. What's be my truth?
Is that what you
No.
Oh.
But that lie.
Do you have some? Graham crackers are delicious.
I'd like to walk up to Mary.
Yeah.
So
I get a good graham cracker and a saltine.
Mary, here's what I believe.
Okay.
It's real life.
You and I have been the closest to Melisandus. By choice or not.
Mm-hmm.
I think if she wanted to know something, she'd be able to find it out, whether we were helping or not.
Well, I'm hoping that there's something that I could do to try and remove a connection. But you're right. I don't know that it would work, but I just feel that if we're going to, go into the lion's den, I just wanted us to all have the utmost assurance.
I'm still in the zone. Yes.
Yeah, well, I felt a lot more sure before we did all this.
I understand.
Mary, I can appreciate the approach you are trying to bring, but I agree with the sentiment everyone else here has shared that the anonymous nature of this endeavor has only caused more confusion and strife.
Well, I apologize.
I don't
Good
think you need
intentions.
to apologize.
Tried.
Yeah.
But I do think if we are trying to get to a place of greater understanding, we need to model it ourselves. And then we need to share the information that we have. You can see he's like waiting to see if you want to say something or not.
The information that we have.
Okay, so all cards on the table. I went to Vahn because Melisandus specifically said it was Skeech. And I thought that I would like to, I talked to him about it because I know the connection that you share. And I didn't know how to approach it. And because you are close to him, I thought maybe he could help me arrange this in a sensitive way. Because I'm not great with words, but he is, and I just wanted to hear what his thoughts.
Reverend, I may owe you an apology.
It's all right.
As far as I'm
Buy me a
concerned,
drink.
this is a farce created by Melisandus as she is created to drive wedges between us. Mary is aptly concerned on people's feelings and emotions, and while I do not believe there is much merit to what Melisandus has told us, Mary did not wish to proceed until something had been done. Skeech, I do not believe you are knowingly acting against us whatsoever.
Could you all humor me?
I would gesture to the circle.
Okay, step back in.
I have the utmost faith in
You've
you as
never
a
left.
companion.
I've known you for 3 days.
What's the on those bombs again? That's fine. Don't worry.
Okay.
No,
I
no.
just have one question
Mhm.
for everyone here.
Yeah.
Do you trust me?
I trust you, Skeech.
Mary,
I trust you.
don't give me that look.
You get used to it.
Oh, me? Oh, yeah, absolutely, Skeech. Yeah. Miners unite.
I mean, I'll admit I was a bit scared of you at
I
first.
did think about eating you.
Those fears clearly weren't unfounded, but I trust you.
I'm not going to do it anymore.
I figured you've helped me a lot.
I do trust you. I will be keeping an eye on you.
Like that one.
I'm going to point at the eye you keep in your pocket.
No,
Okay, that's fair.
but maybe.
I trust you.
We'll get back to you then. Hey, Tarquin, I know we just met, but I trust your word.
So you conducted yourself honorably, and in all senses, you seem to be an upstanding individual.
It's a non-answer.
I trust you.
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Well, trust doesn't come easy to me, but I don't know, Skeech. We've been presented with evidence that says that you're working against us, but want that to be true because you're my friend. And so I'm going to go forward as if it's not true. And then if you betray us, then, well, chalk it up to yet another foolish decision that I've made. But till that time, part of this group. Clear as mud, I know.
I will ask you something, and you've given that to me. I appreciate it. Now that I realize that this is a personal trial, feels a little bit different. I guess I could all humor you with a question.
Is what Melisandre said true? Does that sound like a good question? I don't want to use it.
I have.
Or one. Oh, go for it. Yeah, Mary, this is your thing. Please do. Yeah.
Well, I want. That's my thing.
This is your thing.
Okay. Well, I guess the only question that I would have is, would you be comfortable with me trying a spell to break any connection that you might have unknowingly?
No. I'd have a connection that I know about already.
Okay.
I'm not willing to break that. Looking at Vahn.
Can someone explain how that works exactly? And is there a way to prevent her from spying on us?
Even with my cult, I can't explain how we did this. Can I come up with some type of solution as to how to sever a tie? Synthesis toward, well, not severing a tie that Skeech and I have. I also want to acknowledge that while I agree with the decision, I want Skeech to be okay with it.
I do too.
What I know, there's only one way to break that.
Oh.
Well, you're certainly capable of doing that. It might be messy.
Is it murder?
Yes.
Okay.
Looking down at the circle. Yeah.
Good.
Which,
So, say, like, greater restoration is not something that would be helpful?
I don't know how that works.
I'm not as knowledgeable on the divine, and kind of like looks over to between you and the Reverend. If Skeech is willing to allow you to try it, so be it. I fear losing the connection that we have, but also at the same time, I'm curious if that might be something that's still beneficial for you, no longer suffering because of me.
What is the benefit that you're getting by having this connection with each other?
I have none.
It is remarkably one-sided.
So then why would you?
Because it's not my decision to make.
Yes, I'm just trying to understand.
Well, yeah, the one question we haven't asked yet is, Skeech, what do you want?
I want you to trust me. I'm not willing to give up my connection with Vahn because I made him a promise, and I'll keep that till one of us goes to the grave. But if there's anything else that would ease your mind, I would be open.
I have nothing else. I just, it was my intention to not make you feel bad, and I clearly failed at that, so I'm sorry.
You did. I don't feel bad. It makes sense. we did have that big meeting where we said no more secrets, and I feel like we keep breaking that rule. So shame on all of us, really.
For the record, Malacindus broke the rule this time.
And so did you.
Much forgot. He's still in the circle.
You knew about this. And not telling me immediately was a choice. We set up this intervention of sorts. We've wasted a lot of time on it.
Still in the circle. He looks you dead in the eyes and says, and kind of like furtive glances over to Mary, regardless of the outcome. So,
Sometimes there's an appointed time, I feel, and we haven't, I mean, obviously this just happened with Melisenda, so it hasn't had a lot of time pass, but we wanted it to not be, I guess we wanted to do this in a safer place.
Yeah, I feel very surrounded, just in case. And that makes sense.
Darlin steps into the circle and puts her hand on Skeech's shoulder. And she looks down at you. She's like, it seems to me that these humans cared enough about you to at least try to not defend you. That's a lot more than they would do for the rest of us.
Yeah, they're
There is something to be said
different
about that.
I still trust you, Skeech.
Yeah, no, we went through that.
Oh, yeah, I know, but just like, but that was before and now, like, after. But just wanted to, yeah.
Skeech, I don't trust the magic, as I said.
Yeah,
because
just do it, right?
magic is just another kind of illusion. Step out of the circle with me. Look me in the eye. Tell me that you're doing what you think is right.
Rev, I'll tell you honestly, circle or not, I can't say I wouldn't do anything that would hurt you if it was for your own good.
That didn't answer my question.
But as part of the promise that I've made, and I'll continue, whether to Kindred or Vahn or you now, I would gladly put my life on the line in keeping you all safe.
I believe you.
As they go for like, I don't know if that was a dap enough or if that was a hand. I don't know what exactly just took place.
And I try to put like this.
It's one of the
limp.
Yeah. But I went ahead and activated the Hemocraft oath that we share. So you would essentially feel that warmth. And it's not, you don't take pain from this one. Just the emboldening bond.
Darling, while we have you here, what are your intentions, Skeech?
Take the circle.
He deserves to be respected.
I plan to use him for all my own personal needs.
Skeech, that doesn't sound.
Hey, do you have a friend or like? Never mind.
She looks over at Steve, who's like locking eyes on at this point.
I do have a point to make. It seems like a lot of the time you two have conversations and you keep it from everyone else.
Does seem to happen.
If we're going to work as a team, you need to share everything. If we're going to lay down our lives for each other, you need to share it. You can't look at me and say I have to do it and you don't do it either.
Mm-hmm. This is a good point. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very fair.
That sounds kingly, though.
I will
Right.
agree with that.
And king yet.
For the
Oh, stop, you're getting Yes, you really grasped how human kingmanship works.
I
Yes.
just kind of gossip mostly. He doesn't like guys.
Yeah.
I'm ambivalent at best as to the monarchy, but
Yeah,
as that
word means.
Technically, he's a sovereign, which is very different than a king. He rules with the will of the people.
Oh,
So,
I think that's the same thing.
no,
That's just pretty language.
marketing. I
he
think
can actually
marketing.
be removed.
Who invited you to this conversation?
Oh, it's sitting here at the table.
Yes, stay silent while you sit at the table.
Nonetheless,
Hold out a can of beans.
but as I said before, I'd much rather you be the king than King George or the other alternatives. But
Your
But
words
Damon-
of encouragement of being the lesser of the evils are
didn't say that.
moving.
I would have
I don't think you're.
lesser evil would have been like a good step
I
forward,
thought
you know?
we'd come a long ways. with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You're going to be a good king,
Mhm.
but we may want to establish checks and balances. We can establish that after we get you on the throne.
Oh,
But
that-
Damon is right.
Step 7. Yeah.
You are not the king yet.
Fine.
We are all a team. And this honesty thing works both ways.
We trust you, and now you have to trust us.
Nothing
Okay.
I can say. Well, add to this conversation. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
What do you intend to follow through?
That's a great question.
You've disrupted the circle, right? So like it's like meaningless that I'm like still inside responding.
That is up to whether the divine said that I could do that or not.
Yeah.
Let me get the right line of divine. Hey.
Oh, the circle broke.
Yeah, I broke it.
Not that it means anything, but that just changes the way that it would be perceived in the space. I have and will continue to do my best to uphold all the deals, all the agreements, all the promises that we have made. Again, let's not let the information that Melisandus has been potentially poisoning us with derail how far we have come. You talk of keeping promises. I intend to do that, just as I know all of you are going to do that for us. But understand, this was brought to Mary's attention yesterday, and we are having a conversation this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Let us not forget the short span of time that has actually taken place in the game world, not in the real world.
It feels like a week.
2 days though, because we spent the night at the manor.
Oh, that's right.
We were here, so we're like, yeah.
We only
Consideration.
Technically, that's it. And yesterday afternoon,
All right.
because you spent the night at the manor, and then this is the morning
Goblin time works different.
goblin saving time, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Some outer voice from above the table comes in with a reminder.
Who was it?
I'm adding an extra day to the calendar.
Yeah.
Julius Caesar.
Then there's the task at hand.
Yeah.
Dave, what?
Am I right?
Oh, alright.
Yes.
Bishop.
I just
Go to your church.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the terrifying eldritch abomination that we have to fight. How could I have forgotten?
are you all
It's
ready?
a tick.
I just
How many?
wanted to say before we go, if anything happens, please make sure everyone else is okay with the kobolds.
Nothing's going to happen. The zone is broken. Nothing's going to happen.
It's nothing nice. I mean, first speech. Later.
The option has always been there. You want to stay back for this. I won't hold it against you.
I feel obligated to help as the future heir of my clan,
You've helped so much.
no matter what I want to do. I feel like I have to keep helping.
I feel like we established earlier that as a younger
A little
member of the
child.
party,
Mhm.
yeah, that
You get this speaking with someone stepping to their own. And I think they're.
sovereign few child soldiers. That's up to you.
Sergeant pulls out his notepad. Child soldier.
You're getting that.
And Tarquin, you've got them in your unit.
I mean, certainly 100%.
Tarquin opens up their mirror.
for the travel.
That's actually news to me right in this moment.
All right.
You'll get used to that.
Sorry, it's hard to cover every single base.
I don't know what's gonna happen when all this is over, and if I'll actually be ruling my clan or not as the future alpha mother. But I do want to make sure that they're okay, because a lot of them look up to me, even if I don't feel like I would be a good ruler.
Yep. A good ruler questions that every single day. It continues to make decisions that are in the best interest of those that they serve. You don't have to think you are the right person for the job. You have to think that you're doing the best for the individuals that you look for.
I don't know how good I can be if I don't really want to be. So,
I will.
Yeah.
There's like almost, there could be like a shiny sparkling star in Vahn's eye hearing you say that. I think that's something you're going to have to figure out for your own. It's been my experience that the individuals that do not seek power are oftentimes the ones who wield it most wisely.
Flip side of that, most of the people that really want to be in charge really badly are not that great.
That's true.
Reverend would know.
I don't want to be in charge.
He's the greatest.
I will pull Yip Yip in and whisper to her.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who thinks what. You're the person who gets to decide if you're good or not.
I'm trying not to cry now because each was like,
Yeah, like just like a little whisper.
Oh.
You know, objectively, it is Anna's divine sense that tells us if we're good or not.
I mean, but there's like good and then like good. You know,
It's fine.
yeah.
Are there any last minute tasks you all are looking to accomplish here?
Oh,
I think it's
Yeah.
Mary,
Armor. Yes. Yes.
Yes, I was going to say the same.
Yeah. We're gonna stop by the armory and get some plate.
Hurry.
The armory. It's actually it's a doo-wop. Yeah.
Mary, there was something I wanted to tell you before everything got kind of uncomfy this morning.
Yeah.
And I got to try it out yesterday. I can say it works.
And I'm gonna pull out one of the holy bonds that I had made. That's got the symbol of the one god etched into the side.
I can't really explain much about it. I took a mold of your symbol
whoa.
one night. You're a pretty sound sleeper. I hope you don't mind. But here.
I don't have a monopoly on the one god.
Yeah, but that was kind of your necklace. It's fine.
Pop.
How does it work?
You throw it.
And what happened?
Well, I would recommend being, and I will step 20 feet away. Yay far. And then
Okay.
everything in between there gets
Very bright.
enlightened.
I think it goes kaboom.
Yeah,
So 5 is right out. Lava slip, right?
it's that same thing that helped you with the courthouse.
Oh, yeah, that thing. Those things really.
Like disintegrated those guys. It was pretty neat.
That'd be really helpful dealing with what we're about to deal with.
Yeah. So if it comes in handy, hold on to it.
I'm going to give you something too.
There's like a streak of fear for a minute.
I have this bubblegum of bouncing. I don't really know what it does exactly, but it seems more your style. Maybe you could figure it out.
Thanks.
And I will tuck it like behind my ear.
Nice.
Nice. Before we head out too,
Pre-chewed.
oh. Before we head out, I also just want to casually saunter up to Ellie, like I was planning on that at the end of last time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just be like, yeah, okay, so, yeah, hi. Yeah. And
Something different with your hair.
actually, thanks. I'm so glad you noticed. It's a little shorter now. It's kind of like a cut, like it's a sporty undercut. It happened in
Very trendy.
You think so? Yeah, actually, I'm a fifth owner of this tower with Sir Skeet. But what I actually stop it. But what I actually really.
Anna, do you want the perfume?
No, I'm fine. I got this, guys. Don't look at me right now.
I'll collectively choke.
I'm basically imagining at this point, like,
Everyone I
trying to
think
clock
wants someone
Ellie,
to go.
meanwhile, like, everybody's like just gonna look and
We should get some breakfast
This is live reenactment. Yeah.
on the bug.
Yeah.
But no,
Just have-
really,
Figure it out.
what I wanted to say was that we're off and we're gonna try and save the world and we're gonna do our best, and I just want you to know that if we do succeed, it's really a lot of that comes down to you because you saved my world first.
are you down at her level?
Yes.
She reaches out with your hands, walks in, and pulls you in, and gives you a very tight hug, resting her cheek up against yours, and she says, "You will come back.
Yeah, absolutely. I promise. It's gonna happen.
Then
It's gonna be
You will come back."
good. I would never.
And she steps back and she looks over at Skeech. You bring her back, right?
Sorry, I was not paying attention.
Oh, dude, it's okay. You can lie, but anyway, you will be bringing her back, right?
I'm not capable of making her do anything. She's gonna bring me back.
But you are the noble knight.
I do look up to you a lot, Skeech. I mean, not literally.
Right now, I'm offended.
This was a really beautiful moment.
To my back.
Then I believe you, Sir Skeech.
Could have started like that. That would have been nice.
Cool. Awesome. Now I'm just gonna go get some armor, so I'll come back to you really good. Okay, bye.
Ow.
Yeah.
So you were friends with her friend? That man?
Oh yeah, Wyatt, the Lord Arendelle.
Are you friends with her as well?
I mean, we're all friends. Well, I think they're friends with me. I mean, they might tell you different.
Well, I've met men similar to yourself before.
What does
And
that mean?
I think that you may be a better man inside than you project on the outside. So, if her friend trusted you and she is as good of friends with him as she was, then maybe you could be a friend like that for her, and it seems like you might need one as well.
That feels like you're trying to give me a compliment, but it still kind of sounds like not a compliment.
Oh, it's a compliment to you. If I didn't value you, I guess I wouldn't say much to you. I don't have a lot of time to waste on things like that.
What's it chance, dude?
I appreciate the kind words, but I think it will work out between me and you. I got
Oh, it definitely wouldn't. That's okay. Thank you.
but
Yes,
anyway, I'll take care of him. So,
appreciate that.
I promise.
T-Rex. Yeah.
Okay.
So you and Anna head off.
Yeah.
Go to the harmony.
Armory. Yeah.
And by the way, that was not meant as a slight. It looks like he could use a bit of a pick. The fuck, guys, everything's fine. I think we all. The world does need heroes, so
Last night we were sadly cleaning the ball pit.
Yeah.
Dreadfully so. Here's the scene. Dreadfully so.
and down to the armory the two of you head.
Yep.
It is not hard to find maybe what you're looking for, depending upon what it is. There seems to be quite a plethora of arms and armor in here, of various sizes and quantities and qualities.
Yeah.
I've really gotten used to this whole like hero thing,
Yeah.
but I really don't want to die. So
Oh, man.
can you think I could fit in some heavy plate armor, like the biggest armor we can find?
Let's do it. Okay. And we're going to look and we're going to find plate for both of us.
I could not wear full plate, but I would have tried to put on a suit of full plate and see what happens.
Yep. I'll help him.
What was your strength again?
Oh, it's an 8.
It's 8. Oh, this works out.
It just says not enough.
So basically, as you attach
Yeah.
and put the pieces on, you're tightening them in
It's
place.
looking really good.
First, there's a layer of padding that goes on, and then
Oh,
there's your
that's a lot.
leather,
Oh.
Yeah.
and the chainmail pieces come into place. Then you begin actually attaching the plates.
Oh,
And just as you get the breastplate locked in, it's the last of everything else that you had at this point. All you do is get the pauldrons attached. The Reverend kind of makes this, and just goes blam. There's that little kid, like who gets too much of a snow outfit on by mom.
like a turtle.
Yeah, that's kind of what you're looking at.
So then I'm gonna help him up. You know.
Okay, I think that's too much.
It's all that. I can't breathe.
Oh, let's get you out of that. Yeah. Probably just this armor is abnormally heavy. Yeah. I think that's. Echo, don't give me that look, Echo.
Oh, I need a drink. What about some? I don't know. Maybe something that's like hypothetically like half that plate
Yeah.
that I could. I bet I could even like sew that into my coat like I've been doing before.
Let's get you that, and I'll wear this one because it's like it's just we've already got it out, so
That's better. That's gonna work. I don't know why we didn't start with that.
so efficient. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and we find. Wait.
Oh, right.
When bits
What's the AC?
15 plus your dex max 2.
Oh, dang.
So you're,
So I get a plate.
yeah, you got half plates.
All right. So with my medium master, then that'll put me at AC of 18.
Oh, nice. Oh, where's the full
And with your
plate?
shield spell, that'll bump to 23 when that
Yes,
activates,
it
right? All right.
Wow.
And Anna,
Still
you're
hit me with
put
it.
on a full set
I'm
of
on a
plate.
full plate.
That's 18,
19?
19 full plate. It's 18, is it?
18, then if you do shield +2.
I don't do none of that shield.
But you get to armor first smash.
You get that armor of the one. Yep.
Mhm.
So that's great.
That would bump you up to a
That's
21.
Yeah.
Right?
I think
20 flat.
20. 20, okay. Flat 20. All right.
For the extra one, though.
I mean, I'll take it.
So, all right. The two of you. Now, unfortunately, again, this is not exactly fitted to you, but considering the fact that your scale mail was looking really bad, this is quite the improvement. You tuck in a little bit of extra fabric here and there for additional padding, just because you don't want to get pinched and such as you move it. But all in all, it'll be a very serviceable set of armor until you can finally get something actually appropriately fitted.
How long would it take me to tailor that? Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Hammer.
If you want to spend the rest of the morning, the very least,
Maybe we do it or something. Like I don't want to hold us up for.
Nothing going on. It's, we're ready for that thing, Echo. I'm busy.
All right. Oh, mysterious. Okay.
It's been secrets. We're gonna try.
I would like
half
to.
man, half panther hybrid.
Oh. Oh. Let me know if I can help at all.
I mean, we might need you to like hold it. If it gets really wily, or
Absolutely. Yeah.
It doesn't work. And I'm gonna hold up this vial that just has like a skull, and then the skull's crossed out, and it's like a sleepy skull with beads on it.
I'm trying to do
It doesn't work.
Also, in leather in the armory, I want to take some piece
Pretty sure this is the right one.
of leather that I could take in my bag and use
okay.
later.
There's a crate here that has a bunch of leather.
Mhm.
Some basically it's pre-treated leather. There could be serviceable for belts, armor, all sorts of different purposes. But basically, it's just large sections of skin that's been treated.
Yeah, I
large
need-
leather sheets.
Section that's large enough to tailor a suit out of
Ooh.
Okay.
reasons.
Reasons. Right. You've got enough leather that you could possibly do that. All right. Anything else anybody's doing here while you're here at the tower?
Don't drink this.
He's just making concoctions, a sleep aid, I believe you said. Mary, Vaughn, anything you guys are doing?
With everyone else going about and like prepping, arming themselves and creating traps, Vahn doesn't have anything else he needs to do. He's just mingling and talking to the people and the folks that are here.
All right. Mary, anything else for you?
I'm gonna arm myself with the one gun. We're gonna go into some prayer and hope that we pray that we survive this next encounter.
Give me a religion roll, please.
You're doing great, Mary.
This should work. It's a can of beans with some holes poked in it.
That's a 16.
16. All right. You're feeling pretty stoked right now.
Yeah, feeling good.
No.
Cool.
And
Yeah, well, you'll be fine.
so, Skeet, what are you guys doing?
I've got like thick blacksmith gloves, and I'm holding this can of beans
We're
with a
gonna
clothespin
go
on my nose.
set a trap for Algar.
Outside of the garrison tower?
Believe so, right?
I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah. We want to go towards kind of an area where we've seen him, or like closer to.
Where you saw the footprints before?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Echo prepared the snare trap, which he's going to use Skeech's.
I have the oil packet.
Yeah, what Skeech knows how to do to assist with that.
All right. Go ahead and give me, I would say, survival with advantage to set the trap.
Okay. Yep. That's a 17 plus 12.
17 plus 12. Well, that's pretty solid.
We're going to use Echo's scent as
Yeah.
the majority of the bait here. And then in the can of beans, I've mixed this oil in. Should any target, like, it is a contact poison to touch it,
Mm-hmm.
they need to make a DC 17 save or become unconscious.
For how long?
Yeah.
The unconscious, it doesn't say. But
Okay.
usually unconscious would end whenever a negative effect would happen to the target, or if they would wake up naturally.
Okay.
So like 8.
We're using Echo's cloak, the cloak of the winter, as the bait, and using a spell that will basically magically ensnare him and keep him there for 20 hours.
All right. The trap is set. And actually, Echo, you look at it and you're like, that is some of my finest work. I mean, you're looking at that as you step back, the further back you get from it, the more it completely disappears and looks like you're like, I put it there and I don't even really know where it is.
Beats.
I put my arm around Skeech as we're admiring it on his shoulder, and I
I
lean
stand
into
up
his ear,
really tall.
and I whisper, bored is my weakness. I'm afraid of losing my memory again, and I like strawberries. And then I pretend I never said anything. If I find out any of this, then you know.
I go, I'm gonna betray the party and get you first.
I go. That's what I'm planning on.
Good. Good. Sky and I have talked.
No.
Sky heard her name, her tail started to wag, so you're not quite sure what
And I nodded her.
It's it.
All right. Yip, is there anything that you're taking care of?
Yip is kind of very nervously hesitating outside of heading down to go see the Alpha Mother.
Mhm.
Worried little Yip wants to go see the Alpha Mother, but is also worried to see the Alpha Mother now to see what state she's in. So poor little Yip is just pacing circles.
It's like a rotten floor.
So while Skeech is doing his thing, Darlin happens to be walking past, seeing you there, looks down at you, opens the door, and basically is taking you down the stairs. Like, it's obvious you need to do something, so let's go.
She's
And she comes down and sees all the kobolds doing the kobold things. You can see her eyes because they get like really large. Like, having never been around this many small scampering creatures here and there, the stone singers see her and they begin pointing, and in kobold, they're basically like, "Oh, this is the one that protected us," and the rest of the kobolds like, "Oh," seem very excited. She's not quite sure what all this is meaning. So she's like, "They're not going to chew on my ankles, right?"
They're saying they like you.
That's fantastic. You guys are great too. Don't let them do it. Small creatures kind of generally unnerve me.
They're saying they like you because you protected some of them.
Oh, well, that's great. Have fun. And she goes upstairs.
And now Yip is now awkward. Heading over to talk to the Alpha Mother then.
The Alpha Mother sits
Or we'll
up
see if
and looks
you-
over at you. She's like, I thought I heard that you were back. She's like, how did it go with the courthouse? Were you able to get the writ?
Yes.
That means you're facing the bishop. But when you return, we'll have a conversation. Don't worry about us when you go. Take care of yourself and you take care of your friends. When you get back. She reaches out, takes your hand, and just holds it for a few moments, smiling at you.
Little hand squeeze. Yip Yip kind of gives a nod. Little solemn nod.
Be safe.
You too.
She lays back down again.
No, Yip Yip goes back upstairs.
And Damon, what are you doing?
I am looking outside into the shadows of the forest to see if I see anything.
Okay. So you're like peeping about looking for Bashir or something, I'm assuming?
And or other way members.
Okay.
Know my letter.
No problem. So as you are peeking about, you don't really see much of anything. And you're just about to turn and head back down. Not really upset or sad, but just a little bit like you kind of anticipated. Just had this feeling that you might see something. And you hear a flapping sound. As you pivot back around, this pigeon is flying directly towards you. And every now and then there's like this little glitter or something on this pigeon that kind of flips off until it lands right next to you. And as it does so, just as it hits the ledge of the top of the railing where you're sitting, it almost melds into paper and begins to fold up almost like origami style until it's a letter sitting there in front of you. Very much like the letter that you had dispatched.
Read it.
As you flip it open, it says that your message has been received and that they will be coming.
Great.
Obvious enough.
They get those.
All right.
Hey, I haven't keeping a secret, did I? We haven't started our journey yet.
With all that resolved, is there anything else you guys are doing?
Nope.
Are you heading out now? Or?
Is there a leather worker in the tower?
In the tower, yes, you do have a leather worker in Skeech, and you also have another individual that can certainly assist with that as well.
One of the townsfolk. Hey, my friend, I got a special job for you.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna give him some very exacting specifications for a garment I wish to be created. And I tell him, you're gonna need this, and you're also gonna need this. And I hand him a big sack of sequins.
Yes. Yes, it's happening. It's happening.
Here you go.
Sequence on leather.
I'm gonna
Match made in heaven.
pay you handsomely.
Uh-huh.
Well, here's a advance on it. I give them 200 and
Wow.
If you look at you, he's like, ooh, yeah, that'll be a great advance. That's
Yeah, this will cover it.
depending on how good you do, maybe more in it for it.
he like slides it over real quick into his little coin purse. He's like, I'll be in on this right away. And takes the leather and the sequins and heads off somewhere.
It's like a mom and their child is like walking up to that thing. He like slams the door in their face and pulls down the curtain.
Anything else that you're doing?
I have one request. After we get back from our trap setting, thinking about what Yip Yip said, I want to stop by Gildan and ask for a favor.
Oh,
We've talked about.
So maybe I should
Actually enough, Gildan is not there.
Hey, great.
You do find out from the caravan that Gildan has apparently gone over to talk to the Imperians.
Wow. Hmm.
still on the low side.
Jerk. I will have somebody relay a message because I can't write one for Gildan that I need a favor from him.
I can help.
This was a private.
All right. So
Sky, it's weird that you're talking to me.
Secor the poison guy. He's like, all right, I'll take a message for you. That's my favorite thing to do. What do I need to write down?
I just need to know how Gildan did one of his tricks.
Gildan, how did you do one of your tricks? Skeech. Does that look good? I'm just kidding.
You're not the only one who can do poison.
I'll let him know.
I appreciate that. Then I'll put a gold piece up on the counter.
Grabs it. Oh, good.
Yeah, that's something that you can understand.
Now you're speaking about it. Darkwing, anything for you?
I think I'm just keeping an eye on Darlin. I don't love her attitude toward.
You saw her take Yip Yip down into the.
Yeah, you just like when you come back up, Tarquin's just there. He's kind of pacing around.
Oh, he's like so protective. He's like so protective.
Sure.
I know. Well, he was.
I know. Yeah. Next zone of truth.
All right.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No, I mean,
Do I even want to know?
don't worry about it.
And so
No. I mean,
that wraps up everything that you all had.
I guess we start preparing to head out.
And off you head at this point to say your goodbyes, and then down into the passageway you guys head down. The Stone Singer accompanies you to open up the passage one more time, and then seals it behind you as you depart. And when we get back from break, we'll see what happens as our heroes journey into the city of Granitegard. You'll see you here shortly.
We're gonna die.
Welcome back. We just had an exciting break. Hopefully you did as well. Our party has gotten themselves together, packed up the last bit of their gear, and looks to be heading out to Granitegard. So, again, you have passed through the sealed passageway, and you are now moving through and into the sewers. As you step out on the underground area into the sewers, the cold begins again to seep into your into your body. Was so warm in the garrison tower, and then below ground it wasn't so bad either. But here in the sewer, from where you are, you can see the rupture where the Forge Master and his army broke through to get to the kobolds. The water in several areas around here has got ice over the top of it. Snow is drifting in. And you can either go up to the surface here or continue through the sewers as best as possible, heading over to the cathedral. What do you wish to do?
I will take the cap off my infinite butter. I'm going to use the chapstick.
Do we think it's safer to go up on the top or down here?
Based on experiences we've had so far, if we could remain out of sight for as long as possible, I think that's in our favor.
Well, with Echo's goggles, you could probably figure out what's up there.
What is up there?
You're looking about. Seems very unsettlingly quiet currently. Snow is drifting down. It's kind of muffling a lot of the sound. Everything looks to be covered in a relatively thick blanket at this point. You're guessing about 5 or 6 inches on the ground here. So looking about the city, you're not really seeing a whole lot of tracks and such, which seems very odd, given what you've seen thus far.
Remind me what the goggles can see again?
But that is a very good question. It was footprints, and then I gave them to you. Maybe we should ask the one god.
Oh god. Those were the lenses. What did you pull those out of? That was out of
one
the
of the perfected.
one of the perfected there, yeah. So as you look through, the world has a very purplish hue to it. Everything is in a very monochromatic purples, ranging from very bright to incredibly dark. But you're not seeing anything at this point. Everything is just kind of washed out a bit with the snow. Nothing seems to be standing out.
Looks to be clear so far. But that doesn't mean they're not hiding.
If there's no more perfected around, then that bodes well for us. That would make sense if we're getting closer to the bishop.
Well, I vote we stay below ground for as long as we can. And kind of looks over to Skeech and Yip. It's easier for us to converse while we're down here and not have to be so quiet as we move through the streets of Granitegard. You both have knowledge of the foes that we have faced so far and the foe that we go to face. Maybe you could brief us on what to expect so we can prepare a plan of action. I remember layouts of the cathedral and the grounds enough. What do you know that could help us?
There's a living dead in the courtyard. That's
I'm sure.
something.
The bishop and the physician are they're kind of two sides to the same coin. They both want to take you. Well, the physician wants to keep you alive, turn you into something else. The bishop's less picky.
Oh no.
Good.
I mean, you saw what he was capable of with the gnolls.
That's right. And Reginald.
That means we gotta keep an eye on each other. Everyone has to know where all the rest of us are.
Good point.
Start handing out the rope.
Good.
We can't get took, is what I mean.
Yeah. Yep.
Also,
Belt loops.
Do you think if one of us died, he could bring us back as like one of his evil minions?
I certainly hope not, but I feel like that is entirely their MO.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Good. Sorry to just bring that up. I'm sure it's going to be fine, though. We're going to be great. It's going to be so good, guys.
Well, I do want to say that I'm obviously going to do the best that I can to keep you all alive.
Thank you.
It is easier for me to do that if you're closer to me. So please keep that in mind.
Yeah.
If you're far away, my spells can't really reach far.
So based on my problem with authority, I don't think I make a very good minion. So I want to get taken.
Well, actually, I mean, a lot of those undead are very talkative, so. Oh, I'm sorry.
All I'm getting at is this might be one of the times where we have an opportunity to choose the stage, make sure we're making a tactical and strategic decision. We know who we are up against this time. We also know where we are going into. I'm not saying that our previous decisions have been less than strategic, but I'm saying we have an opportunity here to be thoughtful.
Have we made a decision?
Come on now.
Yeah.
I like to, give you a gentle ribbon from time to time, but it is true. I typically fight on instinct, exactly about tactics.
You hit.
If we're going towards the cathedral, it's got a lot of windows. Doesn't have to.
That's a great point.
Every window is a door if you're willing. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
If I may, we know where item is that I am here to retrieve, and therefore all of us are to retrieve. We need to make our way to the catacombs. We don't necessarily have to go in the front door per se. I say we get what we need to first, and maybe not try to cause too much of a ruckus, and see if we can, do things in a way that it is in our favor.
I like that.
Suggesting not.
Oh, no. We deal with what needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, all those people back at the courthouse.
I do know another way into the cathedral.
Oh.
I had to what's the antechamber?
Antechamber.
Antechamber. I had to
Opposite chamber.
aid in the antechamber in the Avery crypt before with older kobold, and we had to hide from a lot of patrols. But I know there's a passageway from one of the mausoleums in the graveyard behind the cathedral. That's how the most I know.
Through the graveyard. Isn't that kind of... Well,
Yeah,
used to be. Now it's
still full of different occupants.
I know. That's
More of the same.
all I know though. Another enchants.
We need to make it to the Hall of the Sovereigns, where previous sovereigns lie, where the ring will be kept. If you know of a path that leads through the mausoleum and can get us to the catacombs without making too much of a ruckus, that might be a preferred plan of action so that we can... I don't think we're going to be able to spring a trap of our own, but if we can choose how we reveal ourselves, maybe this will be in our favor in this instance.
we should also keep it in mind for if we need to go.
We shouldn't play into the bishop's hands like we did with the triumvirate. Sitting through that mess of a trial is only to our detriment. So I guess we got genuine out of it, but still.
That's true, but I don't want to do that again. It maybe have feelings that I do not like.
From what I've heard, the bishop seems to think a lot less fairly than the triumvirate thought they did. So
Yeah.
I feel like it might be a smite on sight kind of attitude
Like-
from them.
Oh, from them. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, you are also
Oh, thanks.
smite on sight.
Oh, thank you, Echo. I'm so glad you noticed.
It's a good point, Echo. If whatever the bishop does works similarly to how Anna and Mary do their things, is there any way we can stop that?
And me. Sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Rev, sorry. Forgot. You're both.
So yeah, I mean, is there a way to stop it? It's not that. Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, well, that's great.
Yeah. It's just kind of like an instinctual like thing, you know? You just do it.
Right, but if I were
I
on the other end of that, is there anything that I could do to mitigate some of your divine wrath?
Don't get hit.
Right.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
I think this line of reasoning is not without warrant, though. It's been my experience that we need information.
Mhm.
If I don't think it's a question of getting close enough. I think that will be presented to us. But when we're actually there dealing with the bishop and dealing with the bishop's minions, maybe you can aid me. I could focus on seeing if there is a way to disrupt the way that they channel their powers, giving you all more of an opening. I must say, you all are a little bit more formidable in direct combat than I. I'd be more than happy to provide my thoughts and my planning more so to aid you.
Honestly, also, if you weren't in like direct line of fire, I would feel slightly more comfortable as well.
and
Just since last time there was just it's not that big a deal, but just like maybe if you don't die this time, I think that would be really great. I think
Second.
yeah.
Not the most opportune time for a nap, I agree.
Yeah.
outside of the undead, I've heard third-hand stories about things below.
No.
That older kobold took me in to teach me how to forage and stuff and scavenge. Told me about another kobold who went down below, and they came back, but they never really were the same. Constantly having nightmares and freaking out constantly about horrible monsters and dinosaurs
And the blanket down there.
and some unspeakable act that I wasn't told about.
Oh. Oh yeah, naturally. You can't speak though, so it's in the definition.
So,
Yeah.
so what I think we need to do
I think I've seen that.
is attempt to be discreet.
Isn't that your
But-
middle name?
It is in fact
Yeah.
our middle name.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But after that fails, we need to hit the bishop hard.
Can I suggest something? So if we're trying to do stealth,
Mhm.
if we're running into undead and we have to go through the catacombs to get to this burial area with the ring,
Likely lies with the past sovereign, yes.
we probably need some way to mask our smell. So what I'm thinking is if we get there, we find an undead and we smear it all over ourselves so we smell like
Oh, that is really gross.
Oh,
I want to take a dead guy and
thinking. I think
it's brilliant.
we really want to blend in. We can't just rely on being quiet and not being seen.
So if we were to say I already have a dead guy with us, that would be helpful, right?
Well, I don't know what we're dealing with. We could be dealing with a different smell.
Whoa, back up.
Up.
Say more, Skeech.
This is not the most surprising thing. Continue.
Guy hold a dead man.
Well,
Going around?
why?
Yeah.
When?
Wasn't just gonna leave it there.
That's heavy.
Oh no, and I'll hold the bag of holding.
Oh,
No, all right, actually. And I got this, and I'll hold it like a try to
It's called.
show the giant skull. And then this we just never addressed, and I've just been keeping.
Even did we?
No, but
There's
it's
only
been.
so many hours in a day.
Ling thinks it's really cool.
Yeah.
We need to talk about Darlene later.
Like, yeah. I mean,
I do want to bring up the fact that I have the ability to destroy undead.
Well, that seems like
that's
that could be
handy.
Very useful.
Yeah.
Maybe you should lead the. Do you just go? Poof. Or like, there are magic words that you have to say.
I think I just harness the power of the one god to.
Yeah.
Well, you asking how to mitigate some of these things. Many of the divine powers, which of course I know a lot about,
Whoops.
they require the use of holy words or prayers. So that anyone has a way of limiting their ability to speak,
We
then
do.
that could help us.
In multiple ways.
Also,
Go for the mouth, Damon, or the throat.
there's also one other idea I have. Vaughn's discussion of being tactical has like inspired me, and I just kind of sidle over to Anna and I whisper my plan.
Really?
And then
Oh,
when the time's right.
all right. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is the happiest day of my life.
It might not work. I might turn into a chicken again.
That's deal with that when the time comes.
Yeah.
All right. When things go bad, we'll be taking out the windows and just anything that's available. That the heroes try to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
I hate
Immediately.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So are we rubbing dead guy on ourselves, or what's the conclusion?
Oh yeah. Do you want the dead guy now?
Give me an arm, I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't.
I will not be rubbing dead man on me.
So
Yes,
on
you
my-
will.
I would love to say that I actually recall whose body do you pull out?
We got put on trial for putting the guy in the box. And
Yeah.
I would like to point out that there was a guy already in that box, and I kept him. So we didn't kill this guy, to be very clear, but he's not using
This wasn't.
So while we didn't kill him, we'll be defiled in corpse.
Okay, you pull out the
All right. Nope.
corpse that
Nope.
was
Nope.
inside the chest that
Nope.
also was inside the glitter bag. It's now inside the regular bag of holding.
Oh.
He's a
Regular
relatively
Dr.
glittery,
Seuss book.
mummified
No,
corpse.
he's not glittery because we got that removed.
Oh, that's right.
Thank you, Helen. I want to make that clear. He's just a regular dead guy.
Regular dead guy, mummified. If
regular
you
mummy
moisten
dead
him
guy.
up, I'm sure, in the waters of the sewer here. He'll be moistened.
combo.
Be rubbing. I'm not doing this.
I'll take care of it for you.
No. I would do my own thing. I do not want my beautiful clothes to be sullied, and I use prestidigitation. Like, here, Damon, you take a whiff, and I make dead.
But what if they can smell magic? Echo has a really good point. These are magical people. They can see.
I think we should when
Ourselves.
we get there, we should kill a magic zombie and reapply. Just
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, you got to reapply. It's like
Magic zombie.
yes, yeah. All right. In this is our ticket, and then we need to shield what you get.
Can I
I
keep
really
my
don't
jacket
think
in your
it'll-
bag? Because I do not want that zombie smell on it.
Sure.
Yes.
I start applying the dead
Oh.
person spell, and you
I
can
trust
see
you.
visible tears.
Oh.
Echo will grab some like cork or some plants from his bag and make nose plugs and hand them out to the people who look bothered.
It's not. It's not so much the smell; it's the being dirty thing.
Sky rolls.
Here, let me help you, and I put some more in your hair.
No.
Brilliant.
No.
Just close your mouth.
No. No.
Flat.
So, we're still okay with this plan then?
It's a strong word, but I
Too far in.
yeah.
No, too late. Get to rubbing.
Let's go get that ring.
And, well, it's not technically a war crime, but it is definitely some sort of crime.
About like 20 minutes after this,
Desecration of
Wait, if they're dead, they probably can't smell.
Yeah, I want you to know.
Sorry.
And this was a private aside to Echo.
Can't hurt.
I want you to know. Yip yip. Prestidigitation right
I
after.
have more corpse.
Tarquin, I know I said this when you
You
first
got a
met us,
bucket
but
and a
you're going to have to get really cool with
Like
a
a
lot of
lunch
stuff
lady.
really quick.
Yep. Everyone.
No worries at all.
have to do it too.
It's not the first time I've rubbed a dead body on myself.
Wait, what do you?
I'm practicing,
Not in a creepy way though, right?
not in a creepy way. In a tactical, really important.
Not so different. You and I.
Into this moment, and looking.
Tarquin is and then here
Down at speech.
Yeah,
You're so tall.
yeah, I am.
When we get close, I'll put up a pass with stinky trait.
Silent and deadly.
That's just saying it.
That's golden.
Oh my god. So, the sewer is about as far as you can and pop up at the at the portion of the city that's right outside of the zoo, at the southwest corner of the zoo itself. The zoo appears to be quiet. And
There's not a sobbing beholden.
no,
As we walk past
that would be an overseer, but
Oh,
no,
right.
there's no sobbing
I
overseer.
thought he might be beholding things.
He doesn't have any hands. He wouldn't be holding much of anything. So,
Behold.
getting across the zoo, it appears to be empty and out the other side through that fissure in the wall. This takes you over to the edge of the graveyard, the southern corner of it, and from where you're standing, the graveyard is eerily quiet. There's this unnatural stagnant quality to the atmosphere that causes the hair on the back of your neck to stand. You can feel your muscles begin to tense up, almost like with an ache in them, just because
So I feel
you
no.
can feel the unnatural elements around you here. There's a low-hanging mist that swirls and rolls across the ground over the snow. Anytime that you take a step forward, almost like a bunch of angry-looking bees, the way it just seems to churn around your legs there. You can see many of the graves have been dug up. Piles of dirt are mounted next to the empty pits that lead away into darkness below. The vault doors and the mausoleum doors have all been forced open. It looks like there's a bunch of coffins, wooden, broken up, and kind of drug out here, but there do not appear to be any corpses or bodies. Just ransack the coffins and such. The high granite wall of the cathedral grounds proper runs the length of the graveyard from where you can see here. It separates you from whatever happens to be on the other side. You could hear shuffling, moaning sounds from the other side of that wall. Above you, though, the glow of the maelstrom bathes the graveyard in an ethereal glow. Being this, you've never been this close to it before, and you can't help but gaze up for a moment at this dreadful sight. The clouds are a whirlpool of purples that range from brilliant pulses to the darkest night. There are flashes of sickly green and racing tendrils of these souls just coursing and ripping around there. Their pleas and wails blur to a constant background noise. The misery that you just can't derive from your ears. It's almost maddening, the sound of it. The cathedral itself rises above the wall. The architecture looks like it was once absolutely beautiful. A graceful collection of flying buttresses, pointed arches that reach for the heavens. So terrible. Stained glass windows with scenes depicting the grace and salvation of the one God. There are also grand rib vaults as well as impressive spires. And above all of that, though, is the looming bell tower that rises even higher than the city walls itself, about 300 feet into the air. The exterior of the building was finished off with polished marble that used to gleam like a gem. It was bathed in the rays of the sun, but now, under the heavy overcast skies, the utter corruption of the cathedral from within has turned the once breathtaking exterior into a vision of despair. The marble has been sullied by the elements and appears to be almost a melancholy gray. Desiccated bodies are impaled on the spires or dangled from crow's cages over the arches, and most of the stained glass windows have been broken out. And the bell tower itself lists shifts in the wind. Its structure certainly has been compromised. At the far side of the graveyard, you can see the mausoleum that you had mentioned earlier, the Avery Mausoleum. And part of it looks like it has been torn up by this massive hunk of the granite that was hurled from the mesa when it exploded. Looks like it has ripped this huge furrow into the ground, and you can see where it must have created some sort of an opening as it has struck the wall, and it looks like it pierces into the superstructure. And if this is that chamber that you had talked about before, where you saw the opening well below.
That's fine. I'm ready to go below.
Let's
do it.
Okay.
As you all slip down to the Avery mausoleum there, again, much like the rest of these areas, you can see where all of the recesses, the coffins have been pulled out, the contents have been removed. There's really nothing in here. Actually, strangely enough, what is remaining behind are contents that would have been inorganic within the coffins. There are gems, there are pieces of jewelry, there are trinkets that might have been left over. It's, if you wish to raid it, you're more than welcome to, or if you wish to leave it there and respect, it's entirely up to you. By the way, it's just laying there on the floor.
We gotta blend it.
So,
You're right. Start putting on as many rings as I can. 14 necklaces.
Could we not leave them with this one thing?
I mean, they're not here.
I mean, they don't need it.
I think we can give it back.
It feels kind of like a trap, though, right? Does anyone else get that feeling? Like, I feel like the muse, like, yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh, the whole thing's a trap.
Oh, you're so right. Actually, good for you.
Sure. No, how did you get that from that?
Well,
It's a trap.
I'm taking everything off and it's like happens.
We don't want to be too loud.
Weren't we just talking about being the ones, getting the element of surprise this one time?
Yeah, that. All right. Well, we'll leave the horses alone.
technically, there are no corpses here. It's just their possessions that were left. To the far side,
Eyes of vessels. Once
you can
build
see where that
then
hunk of rock has ripped into the mausoleum and broken a fissure within the earth itself, and it leads down to the darkness somewhere below. It sounds kind of hollow through this into this fissure.
I would like to volunteer to lead. My sword is extra effective against undead, and I've got these now.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Geach.
I'll go with you to aid with being more quiet.
I'll pull out my.
I'll go near front too.
Bring it. I'll stay in.
I mean, we should all clump around me.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
It looks to be single file that you'll be able to get through.
Oh, yeah.
Then I'll go behind Damon.
Oh.
Be third.
I would rather. I don't see a way around utilizing my powers to a certain degree. I'd rather do it now here with you all rather than whenever we're in the room with the bishop. So when he takes out his blade and he's going to activate his right, and it's going to be fire on the weapons.
I'll join.
2 and 2 each.
You feel again that grip on your shoulders and that little hiss in your ear. You're going to need me.
All I need is them. And he says it out loud. It is like literally uncomfortable as he loses his speech. The secret thing. This is now. It's not so much a secret as it is uncomfortable. All right, what happened? You can whisper though. We're being sneaky. Oh, it works out so well. It's getting stronger. The whispers.
Remember who's in charge, Vahn.
This is something we can talk about later, but as someone who has tapped into Malice and his power, there is always that talk of more. Maybe I can offer advice on how to not look at it.
I'm sorry, tap into Melisandre's power.
Talk about that later. That was something. You know what? Yeah, we'll talk about that. Don't worry about it.
The no secrets thing, you've really just get into heart.
I'm gonna start
We
kicking
don't have time to
shins.
go into the conversation about how set. Anyways, we'll talk about it later, I promise.
I would very much tell you once.
We're gonna have a stair side chat.
We say it's
Yeah, so it's.
say pass this message up to Damon.
I do want to position myself behind Vaughn in line, just as we proceed down the hall. I just want to kind of whisper just so Vaughn can hear. I hope you know, Vaughn, that I will not seek the monster. Exotaurus has his honor, but I will not see evil sit on the throne.
Are you in the... I forget our march marker that wasn't listening.
He's behind you.
He's behind me. Is anyone behind him?
I don't know who was behind you. I got the first
I
position.
said she's taking the back.
I'm taking
Then
it.
Anna
Yeah.
would definitely be behind him.
I'm with on.
Yeah. Uh-huh. It's,
Falters for a split
We
second.
just had a whisper. I assume I'm right next to Vahn.
You forgot to figure this out. Got to figure this out soon. That's all we'll say.
Your thoughts are appreciated. Thanks for being here.
If you're near the back, you just hear a fork pop.
wait, give me some.
Oh gosh, yeah, here. I probably shouldn't drink all this myself.
You don't have the water.
Of the lineup, business in the front.
So you guys are the mullet of a venturing crew. All right.
And the dog. And I open up. I'm like, while we're both like drinking our potions.
Yeah.
I show her the book of sketches from the zoo that Damon looked like. This one. This is
I literally could cry right now. I'm so.
anyway.
So, into the fissure, you all begin to squeeze and work your way through. At certain points, it requires you to get down on your hands and knees and crawl. And finally, you lower yourself down through a very narrow crag and squeeze out of the fissure into a split in the wall that has been created by the displacement of that granite hunk. It step into a chamber. I believe Echo, you're the first one through, and then Damon, you'd be following right after that. Strangely, oil lamps in the walls of the chamber are lit. They provide a level of light that is just above dim. Nowhere near as bright as you would have preferred, and there are shadows that still claim large areas of the room. The nature of the chamber escapes you for a few moments. There are several large slab tables with recessed grooves that are cut around the edges of the rock. Tracing the perimeter and joining at one end, there's a hole. The hole must go through the rock itself as it appears to open near the base of the table, and a large brass bucket hangs from the hook just above the hole. There are a rack of very strange instruments in the far wall. They look like torch devices. There are thick, heavy blades, large scoopers, thin bladed scalpels, and a host of other implements that really have no idea what the purpose of those might be, as well as large collections of thread, and you also see fabric stacked up in the corner. Lastly, go ahead.
Do I know what they're for?
As you all end up last coming out, you can make, I would say, investigation on that.
Nat 20 for a lot more, 28.
This would be an embalming chamber of some nature. Obviously, this is where they would prep bodies that they would store down here within the chamber of the sovereigns. Not necessarily a mummification process, but a process to preserve the bodies so they would dry well rather than rot and fester down here, making it actually literally dangerous to have the bodies in a place like this. So,
But this is the Chamber of the Sovereigns, or it's like a room off to the side?
this is not the chamber of the sovereigns. This would be a room that would be used to prep the bodies that would be placed in there. More than likely, there are several other chambers in similar nature for work that would be done to very reverently store the individuals that were placed in the chamber of the sovereigns. You don't remember this area from your childhood, but you do remember conversations and stuff that you read in books about what you see here. And as you look at the room itself, there's no door to the room. There's just simply a opening at one end, a nice arch opening large enough for two grown men to walk through. Looks to lead out into a hallway. Again, you do see some oil lamps out in that hallway as well.
Are there any signs of footprints or any activity recently?
There does not appear to be any recent activity here on the dust stuff that you see on the floor. Just as a tracker, your skill is certainly high enough that you would recognize that right off the bat. It does not look like this room has been used in a long time. The last footprints that you can really see seem to be a small set of three-pronged toes, arch in the back, and they go in and they come out, but it has been a long time since that dust has been disturbed.
And the candles, the oil lamps, do they look like they're burning naturally, or do they look like they're magically?
You gonna go take a look?
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a perception on that, or investigation, your choice.
The perception, that will be a 24.
24. You don't understand how they're burning.
Okay.
No, not because you're not bright enough to figure it out. There's no oil left in the lamp,
Okay.
and the piece of fabric that is burning should be incinerating very quickly, but it's not.
Okay.
What'd you find out?
There's no oil. I don't know how they're burning. I assume magic.
Got an idea.
I want to go grab one of the like tong-like tools
Mhm.
from the chamber.
So can you give me a
Puppies.
Yeah, I can give him a
No. Every time.
You take
Try to take the cloth out of it.
Oh, take the cloth out of it?
Yeah.
The moment you separate the cloth, the lamp goes out.
I'm gonna try to put it back in.
And you put it back in and it stays out.
Okay, this is good. Maybe. I don't know. We learned something for sure.
All knowledge is good knowledge. So
That's not true.
we know more. Having tried this. Okay. Well, not been a lot of activity. Some three-pronged thing has been here back and forth, so just keep an eye out. Maybe
Look down at
roll.
Yip Yip's feet.
They're small prints, right?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, as you look at them, you're like, those are definitely kobold tracks.
Yeah, Yip's gonna like step right beside it and then pull her foot back.
Fascinating. It looks exactly like. It even says Yip Yip was here, right?
It's Andy at the bottom.
Oh.
Go. We'll push through the doorway.
As we walk, I whisper, tell Mary everything that happened with Sep, like in 2 sentences, like this, and then just keep going so that I can hold true to the secret thing. And I look at you as I say it, and then I just keep going.
Do you end with that counts and then leave?
Yes.
Just heated mouth.
All right. Out into the hall you all step. Again, it is wide enough for two, at least, actually technically it'd be wide enough for about 2.5 people to pass through. So relatively wide hall. The arch itself is maybe about 8 feet tall. Again, lined with oil lamps about every 20 feet or so down the length of this hall. Goes either direction, either left or right. But for whatever reason, Vahn, you're feeling that you probably need to go off to the right.
Oh, what's it feel like?
Just feels right. It's like it, what I mean, like it's like
Not loud.
you don't exactly know where you are in the catacombs, but something as you look about it, you feel if you, judging by where the shape of the building is and where the catacombs should sit, you probably want to go off the right hand side.
Completely acknowledging that maybe I have some additional influences over me. My memory serves correctly. I think we should be veering off this direction. Okay. Demon says go right. No, I don't think it's them. Oh, it's okay. Oh, I truly don't think it's them.
You know that the
It's like somewhere between the head and the guts. Yeah, just as long as it's not above and behind. We do a quick check. Honestly.
Uh,
Oh,
just
good.
quick activated sense. I got 6
That's the
you got 6.
for a long rest. Yeah.
Oh well,
Yeah.
they like gonna. What are you looking for?
Actually, yeah, it's within 60 feet. So yeah, sure.
Here with Vahn. He activated it.
The feeling is here.
Okay, yeah. So just to correlate
Last night we had the nacho potatoes and other spicy.
Oh no.
Per Skeeter's advice, Echo's going to roll the eye magic thing down the right side just to scout it.
Just scout ahead?
Yeah.
All right. You don't really see much of anything down the hallway here itself. There are several other rooms as the eyeball kind of rolls past them. You kind of get this really quick view as it's kind of moving this lopsided back. They appear to be other storage rooms. There's one room packed full of very tall looking jars. There is another room that appears to have a bunch of robes and such in it.
Any room we're looking for in particular? There's jars and robes. You'll know it. See it. It's the chamber where the previous sovereigns lie. I imagine there will be, well, I would describe it to the best of my knowledge, the various bust and other types of sarcophagi and coffins themselves. We'll have to keep going then.
So as you all proceed down the hall, it begins to connect to another hallway. And again, Vahn, as you're trying to judge where you would be within the structure of the cathedral, you turn left at that point, head down, and make another left, and it takes you deeper into the center structure of the catacomb area itself. And finally, you stand at a wide double set of intricately carved granite doors, and they stand slightly ajar. The opening is between both doors is just wide enough for a single grown human to pass with only mild difficulty. Basically having to turn just ever so slightly just to slip through there. And as you look through the gap there beyond the doors, the space opens to a passageway that leads to the left. There are braziers of burning oils that illuminate with dancing flames. They cast these orange yellow hues, a dim, warm, glowing light that your eyes basically already grown accustomed to with the oil lamps themselves. The width of the floor looks to be about 10 feet from side to side, and the walls of the passage have 5 sets of recesses where bodies are stored, stacked from top to bottom, and they line the edges of the hall, like the length of a body, another set of 5, length of a body, another set of 5 past that. And within the recesses are definitely the reverently preserved corpses of past sovereigns and fallen heroes of Granitegard, and they are displayed with honor and care. Each body is accompanied by weapons and armor. Their finest attire and their earthly valuables are also stored in them with as well. You can see a golden chalice. There's a prized portrait with one. And you can see where the catacombs lead deeper in. You know, when you were a child, you would have to follow this winding course to get to the center, which is probably what we're looking to get to if you're looking for that.
There's still oil.
These braziers look to be full of oil. They're not like the oil lamps. They're actually large iron constructs.
Somebody filled these, right? I know he was young, but from memory, are these things that were filled, or was this something that was?
As a child, one of the things that would happen here is that the clerics and the bishops, the clerics and the servants of the cathedral would continually keep these filled as a place of reverence. Now, the oil lamps that would be filled in here, these doors would be closed unless somebody needed to come in here. The fact that the door is open looks like somebody has gone in. You don't know when the last time that might have been, unless you wish to do some sort of investigation on that. But the oil within the braziers seems to be very full. Almost looks like each brazier is about around 3 feet diameter. It's about 2.5 feet tall, and it's completely full of oil. But in the dead center of it is a iron stand with a large coil of rope that comes through it and up to the top of the stand, and that is what is actually burning at this point that illuminates it.
Echo's going to roll the eye in and just see if he can see basically what he looked for before any activity based on footprint.
Go ahead.
That will be a 24.
Within here is a set of human footprints. They look to be small. And when I say small, they would probably be either a young male or a woman's footprints. It looks like they went in and then came back out. There doesn't appear to be anyone to tell what has happened at this
Through
point.
the door we just went through?
Through the
door we're next to.
door leading into the Chamber of the Sovereigns, because this is the chamber.
Again, I can't imagine we're the only one looking for this.
What was your looking? What was the total?
24.
24. Then that size would be very similar in nature to somebody Bashira's size.
Sisters.
The tracks are it's like several months, maybe a year.
Okay.
Oh no.
Other than that, it doesn't look like there's been any activity, but I worry the brain's already gone. I believe she would have taken a hopeful that the one that we seek is doing. I'll open the door though. Don't think there's any traps.
All right. Which they actually, in this case, you would pull the doors open.
You try and push it. Shuts the door.
It's locked.
As you pull these doors open, because they're ceremonial doors, they are on hinges that would normally swing in, but given the size of the hall and the ability to try to maneuver bodies within there, you would want them to swing out. So you finally pull them open. Nothing goes off as far as trap goes, and the hall is before you in there, in the chamber.
And it's well lit.
It's very well lit. Actually, this is the brightest area that you all have come to thus far.
At this point, Vahn, after he just kind of starts walking through, and like he assumes you all are following him, but he essentially just like starts going through and like is like gesturing and like not so much in like a
stereotypical tour guide fashion, but is like recognizing and attempting to do almost the exact same thing that his father and his grandfather did for him whenever he was brought in here, and is showing them the people who like earned their places here.
Oh.
And he like pauses at a couple of these, and at a certain point in this tour, we can call it that, he would probably be challenging for him not to lock eyes with Tarquin after the comment that he had most recently made. Like I've been saying, my father and my grandfather brought me here. I was a boy of 8, maybe 9 summers. It was, to be honest, my memory is a tad bit hazy on the details of it, but the individuals that you see here, not all sovereigns earn a place in these chambers. Only the individuals that have dedicated themselves to not only bettering themselves, but bettering the people of Granitegard, individuals that have willingly sacrificed their own personal desires to put the needs and the wants of others above themselves. He like looks at like the names and the people who were here, and my father and my grandfather were attempting to instill in me the ideas, and he like just holds on Tarquin because Tarquin doesn't want to sit a monster on a throne, to remind me the importance of sacrifice, to remind me the importance of one, knowing who I am, but being willing to forego my personal needs for the betterment of others. Oh, I think we're almost there.
That's it. Only sovereigns in here, then.
No, it's not.
As if to emphasize a point, he is actually standing next to, see him kind of bring his arm down, and there is a recess where a body is laid, and the individual is wearing very common looking clothes. Looks to be a woman, and the only thing that she has within there looks to be some sort of metal of some nature that she must have been given, and then some very simple earthly possessions. There is a scarf, and there's a pair of shoes tucked in there with her. And the story that you recall this young individual here was that there was a fire that occurred, and rather than flee for her own safety, she stayed behind to get people out of the building and then try to fight the fire. Unfortunately, was overcome and died from the fire itself. Annihilation. This is just one individual, and the person that she actually ended up rescuing was Vahn's great-grandfather.
It's not necessarily decided by birth, decided by the choices someone made in their life that they dedicated themselves to. I have no idea if things would have been different if I would have earned a spot here in these chambers. I hope.
Gendred should be here.
There are many people who should be in these halls who will never get a chance to be in these halls because of what happened. But yes, he should.
Just around the next bend as you lead them on, you come to the opening that you've been looking for, the sepulchre itself. You can see that the space beyond is much greater than the rest of you had expected. It's a roughly 30 by 30 foot room. In the center stands a towering statue of a powerful, regal-looking couple. One hand clasped to the other. They are joined. Their free hand man holds a shield, and the woman herself holds a bundle of flowers or maybe herbs that look to be angelica, chamomile, and hyssop. The masterwork sculpture is so strongly detailed that it's almost uncanny how lifelike it looks, as if the statues might come alive at any moment, like life frozen in stone. Next to either statue, on either side of them, stand 2 granite sarcophagi, each one carved with the story of their occupant. And one certainly is Hengrid, and the other woman is Queen Bashira, who's his wife. And they are the founding sovereign and queen of Granitegard.
I think regardless of like entering the space and what we're here to do, the same thing that he would have seen his father and his grandfather do, is like come and like pay their respects and like their reverence to the individuals who created this, started this, and just like take some time, kind of like kneeling down before essentially looking to see if anyone else is reading the story. Vahn already is well acquainted with it, but he probably can't help himself. But
Definitely reading that story.
Each is staring at it.
It's reading it
Fortunately
out.
for you, it's not just written. There are pictures on there as well that tell the story. And it looks, based off of what you remember from the kobolds, you see something very similar nature of a leader taking his people across a great vast space till they arrive here at Granitegard, which seems to be this broken, wasted city. And then there is actually a picture of Hengrid with the kobolds. And then the city being rebuilt, and then many other moments of Hengrid's life where he did things for the people, battles that he won, settling the lands for the people of Granitegard, and then finally his passing. Queen Bashir is something very similar in nature of the great deeds that she did as well. She seemed to very much be a woman of the people. Where Hengrid seemed to be more of a strong military leader on things, she seemed to be the caring side of the matter. Both the detail of the statue and of the sarcophagi seemed to show an immense amount of respect from people when the city was founded, when they passed, giving them a place of honor here.
I think Vahn is struggling to almost like rectify some like of the cognitive dissonance of the murals that we've seen down below the city, and kind of like the true histories of the world, and like the transition, this wheel of power that's continued to just like somebody conquers somebody and a new group comes in, and somebody else conquers somebody and a new group comes in. And here we have like this very well depicted reference. Look how great and good these people are. And I think he's just like trying to come to terms and remember that like this is the story that they got to tell. And we're going to have the opportunity to tell our story afterwards, but maybe this time we don't balance the other folks who helped us. I don't think there's a way he can convey that, but he looks deeper in thought than he typically is, which is so deep.
Hashtag deep.
Are the nachos?
It's weird.
And I'd like to see if what I need is inside.
What is your strength?
Enough for this narrative moment.
I second that.
I third that.
All right, Vahn. You walked over to the edge of this sarcophagus. And as you push on it, it resists you, and you feel almost a bit defeated. And then it gives. And the granite slides on granite. The rest of you are looking and wondering how Vahn, given the physicality that you've seen before, is able to shift the lid.
Good
I
luck.
see Anna leaning on it.
Yeah. I was like, that's really what's happening.
Just casually like,
You're doing so good.
you're doing so wow, you're really working out. This is amazing. Yeah.
You feel a bit of relief as you actually break the seal on the sarcophagi.
Yeah.
Rather than sliding open, there being no reaction, it is a rush of air exchanged as this thing has been sealed for 400 something years at this point. And
Yeah.
the contents of the sarcophagi have basically turned to dust. All there are in there are the metal remains of the suit of armor that Hengrid was wearing, the massive wooden sword that he had, and sitting at the center of the body, what looks like where the arms would have been crossed, given where the armor sits, is a ring.
Kind of hesitancy as he like thinks about like taking this.
Can I
This individual. Go ahead.
check for traps?
Absolutely.
Vahn is not.
Wow. 17.
17. You feel very confident that nobody has rigged a trap on this after the fact that the seal has already been broken.
Sorry.
Hey.
Hey, I'm just making sure. I'm just double checking. I've seen another TTRPG where something bad happened like this.
When you grab the ring and something absolutely terrible happens. Either way.
That's also terrifying.
Story. I think he pauses probably like an uncomfortably like long period of time. And it's like, this is like literally what we are here for and like what we need to do so we can grab this and we can leave. But there is a symbolic exchanging of power and responsibility that his father and his grandfather never got to do for him. And this is going to be it. Like this is the thing that he gets to like take. And so I think he like reaches out and I know it's dust, but as he like kind of scoops and grabs onto the ring itself, there was like a hesitancy of not wanting to like pull it back and have it cross the threshold. Because this is like there's not much going back from something like this. And eventually he does. Kind of maybe rates on a little bit to get some of the remaining residue respectfully back into the sarcophagus.
That's back right can head.
As you reach out and put your hand upon the ring and begin to retrieve it back, the helmet shifts just for a brief moment, and you feel your heart skip a beat, but
I'm not doing this.
then it almost sags forward a bit, almost like a nod, and remains motionless.
I think tears begin to well up in Vaughn's eyes.
Ooh. Mary's too.
That was probably just gravity.
No, I don't think so. Is that the ring?
And as you look at the ring itself, it's much more primitive than you remember your grandfather's, but it's still an impressive piece of work, and it is still made from a hunk of polished granite. The metal where your grandfather's was set into a gold and silver weave is very much just a bronze weave on this. But again, very much masterwork quality. Simple, but still very elegant in what it is. And as you turn the ring to the base, you see that same symbol that Reginald had described to you. And it seems to match on your wrist.
Vahn is going to take off the ring that he has been wearing that has the barbed spike on the inside that he's been using to activate his right. And he's going to take that, he's going to put it into his pack, and where he had previously worn that, he's going to place this ring on his finger.
It fits perfectly.
They wanted you to have it.
Maybe it's just similar genes.
We sure that's the right one?
Like holds out the rip that he has, like holds up his hand, like it's at least the one that has been written with the fine prints.
All right. Well,
We have what we need.
Still need.
We've done the easy. We have to leave here successfully.
You also still need your birth documents.
Before we leave this room, is there any evidence of where Vaughn's sister was looking for stuff in here? Or did it not even seem like she got here?
As you backtrack out, now that you are not paying attention to Vaughn giving the story at that point, you can see where she has stopped at an earlier point and obviously robbed one of the sovereign recesses there. Very little respect paid, as she must have ransacked through to find what she was looking for. And you can tell, obviously, this one, because there's some items laying on the ground itself.
Which person did she rob? If that's
The name plaque is actually missing.
It's up to name.
You can see where it actually has been pried.
It's the only thing they nailed down.
Would you have remembered the placement and of what was?
Of course. I think so. The player says to the DM.
We have to see.
Oh, the strong narrative.
Yeah.
So,
Try it again.
if you go, I take it you're done within there, or are you doing anything else you do? I don't want to rush you along. Is there something else you're doing?
Stretching,
loot the bodies.
Where would
stretching for
All
what's
of your
to come.
closest friends and family.
Sorry, that was a little bit of a double standard.
where would the document be that we need?
More than likely, the section of the catacomb area that's down below here would have been the archive, which should be through the, when you come out of the Chamber of the Sovereigns, there should be a short wall with the next set of doors leading out into the archive area. Because again, this is a very restricted zone, hence why the importance of the Sovereigns Chamber would be there, and then the archives. You do remember that there have been several processions of fallen heroes or people along those lines where they were led down here through the center of the archives, which frankly you're actually relatively excited to get to because you remember the documents and such that were stored in here. Just a grand storehouse and very beautifully ornate areas. But it had a wide central area that would allow you to have a procession come through unimpeded to get to the Chamber of the Sovereigns from here.
Well, if everything continues to go our way, I imagine we'll find them soon. Just down the way and usher us forward.
As we can take a couple steps forward at the echoing back from where you all had come, not within the Chamber of the Sovereigns, but the hallway that connects that would have led back to where you first came in, you could hear the sounds of rocks and crumbling. Big cacophony of noises back.
You should expeditiously leave.
Yes.
Yeah, pick me. Yeah.
Do you head back to the fissure? Or do you head to the
Hold on.
chamber? I'd say with the
Is the noise between us and the archives?
no, the noise is back where you would have come originally through that fissure.
Away from the noise to the archives.
Okay. Yep. As you push open the doors to the archives, you can see the archives was constructed as a large circular chamber. It's nearly 100 feet in radius from the central record keeper's desk. The top that raised the top of pedestal to center. The diameter, so the perimeter is a series of 20-foot tall shelves and recesses that are dedicated to storing important records. Each document would have been carefully maintained and checked to ensure against age and damage. And the ring ornate scribe desks that surround the record keeper's desk would have been responsible for the restoration of damaged documents or the precise transcription of original documentation that was too far out of service or as a request of information from the sovereign or outside sources. However, what you all see before you instead dashes your hopes like a glass chalice against a granite floor. The archive has been destroyed. Long ago, the place was a scene of a grisly ritual of brutality and depravity. The state of the corpses assaults your senses with the darkest, most disturbing imagery. Despite your efforts to shut it out, you know that you'll be thinking about this for a long time. The victims whose lives were impossible to tell who they were, the only thing you could say for sure is that they suffered greatly before finding the release of death. But then again, given the raging storm of souls that you see above the cathedral, you wonder if they might not have even found that release then. The precious documentation that used to be so painstakingly cared for within here, preserved for generations, now sits in a massive pile of charred paper and scroll casings that tells of a humongous bonfire that must have reduced the contents to ashes. At the far side, there's an open set of doors that lead to a stairwell that would have taken you up. It is a grand curving stairwell. Once again, that the processions could have gone very easily down, so about 3 people have crossed, and a voice spills down the stairwell from the cathedral above. Vahn de la Nestra. You will not find what you're seeking down here, scurrying like a rat. Come before me. It's time for you to taste pleasures of the flesh.
Oh, Betty.
We all heard that, right?
No.
Dinners.
It seems like it should be at the courthouse. Words they used.
Sounds like it should be at a different house.
When you recognize the voice from your childhood,
No.
it certainly was the bishop's voice, but it sounds somehow different.
Echo is going to motion to Vahn to stay. He's gonna motion everybody else to go to the sides. He knows he's here. He knows we're here. So big brain play.
Yeah.
Big brain play. We'll see.
Please, chill.
Did the third arm grab me? Would be up there.
Yep. We're hugging the walls.
Yeah.
Let's chill.
It's an interesting moment, I think. Unless someone else has decided not to do that, as everyone else is hugging walls.
Yep.
Because Vahn is just like standing like at the base of the stairs.
I'm gonna be honest. Yip Yip would stay with Vahn, despite what everyone else has said.
All right, your funeral.
I'll take it if they want Vahn to go alone.
Try to ambush him.
I'll let him know the rest of you, remember?
I'm gonna go ahead and pop a divine sense. Just use the horrors in this current vicinity.
Just the range is 60 feet, I believe, on that. You definitely do not sense the divine here. You sense the exact opposite of that.
Oh no, it's been desecrated.
No pinpoints, no, just kind of ick.
All around you here is just a bunch of old. There's nothing magical. There's nothing as far as these bodies and stuff go. They were just tortured
That's a rancid.
long ago. Something happened here. Whatever magic there might have been is gone. This most likely happened sometime right after the city fell.
Okay.
Obviously, go ahead.
Echo said to hug the wall. I want to basically disappear into the wall. So become the wall.
There's not a lot of difficulty for you finding shadows.
Ooh, can I roll stealth here?
You are more than apt to roll stealth.
Supposed to be at 10.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Amazing.
Let's hit 40.
Yeah.
Dang. 36.
Oh.
You're not even sure where you are right now.
I want to be so stealthy that the moment if you go up by yourself, I'm going to follow, but I'm with the wall. I am the wall.
Given the shadows that are within this stairwell coming up, it will not be hard for you to maintain what you're doing.
Sweet.
Are you heading up?
Yes, but he's not going to do. He's been chastised too many times by this group specifically. So yeah, own yourselves.
Yeah.
I highly doubt they're going to attempt to dispatch me immediately. It seems like they want to have a conversation, and a conversation I'd be more than happy to give them. I'm curious if you could use this, if we could use this to our advantage. I go up and hold their attention, see what they want to say, give you all an opportunity to get into a more advantageous position. I'll give a sign when it's time. Sign. You'll know it.
I
don't think I will.
Yes. Is that when I'm screaming real loud like help, I'm being killed?
I hope it doesn't come to that, but that's my fallback. I'm a contingency.
Are you sure you want to go alone?
No. But I'm okay with it.
Go with you, like, and at the very least, if things go really wrong, get us both out of there. They do no mention door. Won't be able to get us too far, but at least October would still work this time.
This is the best idea.
Yeah.
The narrative side of my mind is like, no, I cannot take a child. And it kind of grabs your little cobalt hands.
Shit, we'll sneak in right after you. You won't be alone.
We got your back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Use this, and I will hand Vahn my teleportation pods.
Oh.
Yeah, that won't work on you. That's just gonna bring me there. So
I'll time it correctly.
all right.
And Vahn's going to start walking up the stairs. And as he's going up the stairs, he's going to put one of his hands in his pockets. And he had found this a couple of nights ago, essentially, but didn't say anything to Damon. Damon had put a little medallion of courage.
Can I
He's giving that a rub.
give him a little touch and guidance?
Guidance there is.
I honestly hate this plan, but what are we gonna do? It's great. It's gonna be fine. I think it's gonna be.
drops.
And up the stairs you go.
So if I disappear.
Is there anybody coming with Vaughn himself, just aside from Damon in the shed? Is there?
Whoa.
When the rest of us are moving, though, I'm gonna try and gather everybody up so they're in my kind of bubble of stealth.
Are we found like 60, 100 feet behind?
I'm gonna assume that Vaughn
Behind
I'm
Vaughn.
going to let
You're
you all know.
coming up with them. Yeah.
So the difference in distance, if you do not accompany Vaughn, is going to be about 60 feet.
Okay.
Oh.
It'll take you at least a turn to get up to him if he goes to the top of the stairs unaccompanied.
Plan. I think and like filtering things around.
Yeah.
If
Okay, yep.
Vaughn can hold the attention.
Yeah.
Okay. So up you go to the top of the stairs. I'm going to ask helping hands to assist me.
Oh no!
Let's not panic. Maybe it's not that cool. Oh, it's really cool.
Would it not be that cool?
I don't know.
There are so many people.
Uh-oh.
I don't like that. Look at all the accoutrements.
Okay, what's the wood in the shape of? Is that a stoplight?
Yeah, we got to get into good side angles. This is amazing.
All right.
Are the lights on?
Oh,
There. Oh, actually, yes, I totally forgot that. Let's go ahead and turn
Yeah.
you guys on.
You need to show
Wait.
Hey, I mean, like,
Wow.
Look
if
at
you
that.
create a shadow, I can
Thank
stand
you,
in there.
Chris Fields.
Way to go.
All right.
Bravo.
Vaughn, as you reach the top of the stairs, looking out from the stairwell, you can see the full length of the cathedral before you. Once famous for the frescoes that depicted visions of the one god, the interior has been transformed into hell. The vile nature of the desecration of the cathedral fills you with revulsion. Everywhere you look, there is nothing but depravity and madness. The tortured, twisted bodies of the bishop's victims have been put on full display throughout the space, transformed into art that only the most sadistic and bent mind could even find appealing. They've been mutilated and torn, some hung from the walls, while others have been skewered on poles or turned into stands from oil lamps. Limbs and flesh used as decor, torch devices and implements of suffering abound. At the far edge of the cathedral's interior, where you stand, you can see a double set of doors to your left. Those must lead to the vestibule and then out into the courtyard. And from there to your right is the hellscape of the narthex. Further down from where you are in the nave, amongst the carnage of the pews, you note that there are multiple zealots of the flesh engaged in worship. You can see them bowing down towards the front area of the sanctuary there. And most of them seem to wear some sort of collar or vest or something that looks to inflict constant severe pain, yet they seem to relish the anguish as they chant these blasphemous prayers. There's a hulking brute that stands watch by the far railing. It has some sort of partial armored metal plates with these massive spikes and is carrying a wicked-looking great axe. Beyond that, in the chancel area, is the altar. To either side of the altar are two large piles of debris that seem out of place. One is a collection of tombstones, granite coffins, statues, and even a set of gates from the graveyard. The other side is a collection of flesh and bone. The slick wetness of blood and tissue shimmers in the light of the oil lamps. And at the far back of the cathedral is the bishop, transformed by magics that you wish that you even comprehend the nature of. He is now this pulsating, oozing, barely humanoid mound of pink, wet flesh. Within the flesh, there are eyeballs that dart around feverishly and tongues that lap the air, splattering drops of saliva. And the bishop is adorned with a mockery of the cassock that he had worn when he served the church. The fabric is a dingy purple with a golden collar. Ah, yes. I see the boy and the man that's before me. Your father's lovely face, his strong features, that striking chin, but your mother's eyes, wretched boy, always reminding me of the sovereign, the whole court making a mockery of me. She did not know her place, defiant, until the end. But now you're here. Come on. Take your place. Worship the Dark Queen with me.
For a split second, Vaughn wonders if he was supposed to sign some type of consent form.
Let's just go over here. Yeah. Mhm.
And I think with a stillness and a calmness, he is just going to do his best to kind of come like center aisles between where the pews maybe would have been, still towards the back, next to maybe this lit brazier closest to me and us on the side. So I've got a direct line of sight.
Like right here,
A little bit closer to me, but yeah,
what we're looking at.
somewhere in that space is fine. But on the brown tiles on the center area.
So you're gonna go to the center area right here.
It's line of sight. Very.
Tennis racket.
All right. Vaughn, as you begin your approach forward and pass by one of the impaled bodies there, you can see that the crude wooden spikes go straight through the victims, some of them in much more comfortable, painful methods than others. They have been hanging, some of them hanging there for ages, while others look relatively fresh. But several of the bodies begin to moan and writhe in pain as you move past. You almost leap out of your skin. It's unnatural for these things to even be alive, given the grievous injuries that they've suffered. And there you stand before us. There's been saying at this moment.
There's nothing I'm saying yet, but while I'm walking up there, I want to, using every spare second that I have to try to get a better understanding of this place. How is it structured? Like, where are the additional exits? Like, how I'm bringing as much like strategy and tactical mindset as I possibly can. How are these people essentially bolted or spiked up on here? The exact distance calculating between like me and all the other people in here. I'm trying to Sherlock this entire space. So whenever things do hit the fan, we have some type.
Go ahead and give me an investigation on that.
Just guidance.
Could be okay still. 19.
19. All right. What you're seeing here are the zealots of the flesh scattered about. Again, there's a group of them up here that are worshiping. As you're looking about here, these sections here look like there's been a collapse of the ceiling that has blocked off the egress on either side. That prevents you really from getting back here unless you come through this middle section, maybe leap that wall. Again, there's that massive creature with that axe sitting right here. The bishop is sitting at the far edge where the tower sits. It looks like there's been some superstructure added to keep the tower up. But there's this shimmering glow about this area up here. It's hard to tell exactly what it is. And he seems to very happy sitting up in his spot. There seems to be a bit of comfort around that area that's been brought to him. Every now and then a servant will move up and hand him something fleshy that he just kind of sticks against his body, and it seems to be pulled in. And towards these areas over here, along this side, there is the normal walkways that there would have been as you would have approached the front of the church. Torch devices are kind of splattered here and there across. The bodies, as far as being put onto the poles, as you had asked about that, some have just simply been impaled straight to the center. Others, it goes through one end and out their mouth the other end. Again, nasty, terrible ways of doing, inflicting as much pain as possible.
I make an arcana, like the sheeny glimmery thing that you described up there.
Okay.
Yeah, only 13.
13. You're not sure what the field is. And as you're taking all this in, the bishop gives a bit of a chuckle. Always studious, weren't you, Vahn? Always taking it all in. Just like your father. I love the boy.
I've come to humor your request and listen to whatever ploy you would like to make to give you an opportunity for your last words and your last rites, dear bishop.
And
Do you also?
as Vaughn begins speaking, I would probably usher the group to try and attempt to move in.
We want to be playing like the Metal Gear Solid on the sides of the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Explain.
I brought so many cardboard boxes.
So up the stairwell you all are coming? This
Yeah.
point?
We're following the road.
You like in the room against the wall.
Damon, where would you like to go? Let's ask that question right now. You can get over here.
Yeah, like right in that. Yeah.
Right over here? Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a stealth check, please.
Oh boy, you got that hide. That will be a 29.
29.
Touch on his shoulder when I get
All right.
the blessing of
Damon, as you move over to the spot there, you step on a little bit of gravel, and one of the heads of one of the zealots looks over your direction,
With a 29?
but does not seem to pick you up. But you freeze in place right there, and you are hidden within the shadow. You're very happy that the shadow is your natural area.
Back home. Yeah.
Now,
Is that
Vahn,
your favorite terrain?
so you're going to send me to judgment? Is that what you believe, Vahn?
Not sending you to judgment. I'm giving you the release you should have had years ago. This is not who you were. This is not what you were. You have been tainted. You have been corrupted.
If there has been any of that done, that was done by your grandmother, Sandra. She ruined my life, ruined everything. She accused me of such terrible, terrible things. Almost got me excommunicated from the church.
You hold on to the petty squabbles of decades ago and use that to justify what you've done here?
What I've done here? Oh, I've glorified something even more powerful, better than the petty god that you serve. She'll reward me for what I have done. Look at how she has transformed me into this thing of beauty.
It's challenging to not see what you've transformed into, Bishop.
But I can show you so many wonderful things.
Oh, yes. I've come quite far, dear Bishop. There is nothing you can say. There is nothing you can offer that will offset the path that I'm currently on.
So much like your mother. So much like your.
Does that cause you pain?
Does that cause me pain? She was just as bad as your grandmother. Both of them meddling. But no worries about that whatsoever. She was punished. She got what she earned. I saw to that. Saw her crawling on her belly, begging for mercy.
You saw
And those
what?
two viper-tongued little siblings of yours, yes, they should have been nicer as well. I would have cared for them as I cared for your father. But they too had to be taught a lesson. My Dark Queen welcomed my suggestion, something to teach your mother humility, saying that flirting with your siblings.
Speak plainly.
Speak plainly? Well, we can all be repaid. All be repaid. Join me. Beautiful. There's such power to this Dark Queen. She can do so much for you. Look at the gifts she's bestowed those that are loyal to her. You've seen them. Their rewards for followers were such favors, and imbues them with abilities just beyond your understanding. You wouldn't have to keep that deal with your friend above your shoulder there.
I pity you, Bishop.
Pity.
I pity you. You sit here in this keep of your own making, sitting on this throne of flesh that you have carved from the good people of Granitegard. You sit below a maelstrom of the souls that you will not let rest. And you look to garner one other to your side, to your cause. To what end? To please the whims of someone else who seeks to bring an end to all of these things? Do you not see the end game here? You are a pawn. You are not a bishop. Joe.
Checkmate. Vahn 1, Father Nasty 0.
You're the one that when she has what she's after, she has the power that she seeks from that iron prison. When she remakes the world, who do you think inside her? I have harvested so many souls for her. I have an army just beyond these doors of undead being to spill out across this world.
You have shells You have shells of individuals which once had purpose, which once had meaning, hopes, and desires. You are the shell of a man, what you once were. And if that is all you have to rely on, it's a promise made by someone who will cast you aside when they see fit. But I have spoke true, Bishop. Someone deserving of pity, and I only wish to make this as swift and painless as possible, because even in this pitiful state, you are deserving of this.
I had hoped for so much more. Well, you look so much like your father. Definitely your mother's son. And you will get what you wish. Want to suffer? Want the pain? Let's begin.
You want
your
more?
vacation.
I'd love to give you more.
And at this point, to either side of the bishop, the tombstones begin to rise up
Wait.
and form into a creature.
But now we go back in time to see what the rest of the party was sneaking to.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
Here and
Yeah.
the stalling.
At this point,
Yeah.
we've taken out all of the people on the surrounding walls. You know,
Yeah.
all the
Probably just a bit of
reflection.
As you all are coming up out of the basement there, you are going to need to make stealth roll, please.
Are we all rolling individually, or
Yes, you're going to plus you're going to be breaking off into
Yes.
groups to try to take
And
these guys out rather than just
we're sticking together?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Blessing of
we
the
are.
Trickster gives me advantage, right?
Yes.
Which cancels. So I get just plain roll. Okay, great. That's fine.
Grabbing the D.
Oh,
No.
With
I'll play roll with it's 10, so with advantage.
no, you have.
I have advantage. So I just plain.
hey, can I have that?
Oh.
And you don't.
Wait, so are we rolling individually or is
Okay, we're good.
cool?
Not bad.
Stealth is definitely my
That can do it, though.
Reverend
Yeah,
walking
that-
around going, I'm
Wait,
stealth
that's
now. It's not how you stealth.
It's still bad.
Thank
you very much.
Ooh, 49.
29,
Better than me.
16.
16.
6.
Plus 10. 10.
Plus 10.
Plus
Plus 10.
10.
16. All right.
22.
22.
I'm not mid
What?
for a while.
No, plus 10.
Oh, 11. Oh, well, stealth will
Yeah.
be
Yeah, plus mod stuff.
16.
Oh, thank
16.
goodness.
All right.
32.
32.
Yes.
25.
All right. Go ahead and each of you can move 30 feet out from this door right there. As the conversation was going, you can place yourself up to 30 feet out. Go ahead, put them where position do you want to be?
Before we separate out, can I, specifically from Echo, can I do something?
What would you like to do?
I kind of open my palm and say, I need to get to Vahn quick. You see this just flitting little red ember, and it lands on your chest, and you just feel the rush of 10,000 cups of coffee as I cast haste.
What? We can do that. I was there yesterday.
All I can the squirrel from over the hedge there. All right. So,
Exactly. Running in place.
so let's go ahead and where are you all going to be in position? Let's go ahead and find where. So, Tark, when you're up first on the dot, where are you heading?
Just flanking along the wall, just as far forward as I can get.
You're going to move them 30 feet?
Yeah.
Let everybody know.
Lightning McQueen?
30.
Slow down.
Reverend, we'll get to him in just a moment there. The next one looks to be Echo and Sky. So, Echo and Sky, where are you guys
How
heading?
much does that add to my speed?
I believe that's a double speed there.
Holy unique.
So you get double the speed, plus 2 AC, advantage on dex, one extra action that you can use on attack, dash, disengage, hide. There you go.
Okay, so 70 would bring you right up to this guy right here, unless you're looking to move off to the side something or.
I'll move off to the side. I want to get on that outskirt with that guy with the axe over there.
Okay, so he can definitely close the gap.
Yes.
Is Sky coming with you?
Sky's going to move as fast as she can to come with me.
Just a reminder,
Right, Scott.
30 feet of your healer would be great.
Sky can heal me with her bones.
What's that even mean? Nice island.
Sky's movement is 40 feet?
50.
55
Oh,
feet.
she's a fast squirrel. She's such a fast dog. Oh, so fast.
So next we have Mary right here. Clunkety clunk clunk clunk. Mary 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Puts very somewhere near this table.
Okay,
Cats and Crunch.
I was like,
cast a projection myself, so my AC should be 21 now.
AC 21. All right. And then we have Yip Yip. Yip Yip, where are you heading?
As close to Vahn as I can get.
30. Let's Yip Yip right there. Anna, where are you heading?
I'm sticking with the Rev.
Okay.
Well, that may be a bad idea.
Rev, where are you going?
I'm trying to get just like along the wall too.
Along the wall, there's lots of walls. These walls, these walls.
Yeah, along the back wall there.
Okay, so
Straight
5, 10, 7. I can move him. I got it. Yep. So like
Use your extendo arms.
30 right there.
Could you please tell us how many
Reverend right here?
enemies we see?
Okay. So Mary, you right by. Okay, but Anna, you want to be right by him right
Yep,
here?
right, yep.
Helping.
Last is
How many
Skeech.
enemies are there? I would like to have been writing Sky.
All right, then we will put you right here with Sky. So basically, you're not really on the table, you're right by Sky.
Yep.
So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of the zealots of the flesh that are out on the main floor. You have 1 groundskeeper. You have 3 zealots that are beyond the wall there that are worshiping. 2, one's a tombstone guardian, the other one's a flesh mound, and then the bishop there. It looks like.
What? No.
We classify the tombstone guardian as a structure.
All right.
Let's get better.
Let's go ahead and place him here. Because that's what he is.
Wait, what?
Is that?
All right.
Wait, what's wait,
No, you
what?
can remove him.
Wait.
You know what? I'm gonna make him bold too.
So
17? Who'd you get?
it would now be initiative.
Yay!
And take care of that as we
Let's
begin to
get
move
down. This. Okay.
Okay, we're in the middle today.
Could have been worse.
It's now a peace sign.
Yes, I got it.
So I have 21 to 25.
21.
28. That's going to be Damon. That's going to be Vaughn next. Anybody else within the 21 to 25 range? We're looking at 16 through 20.
20. 16.
60 or 20?
20.
18.
Yeah, I already know you're gonna beat my speed.
Okay, we have Echo.
I beat everybody's speed.
Itself. And yeah, with Echo.
Oh, son of a.
All right, and then we have Yip Yip, correct?
Yep.
All right, 11 through 15.
15.
15.
Who has the higher decks?
What? I have 3.
So do I. I have a 16.
Roll the 16.
No, I have 16 decks.
Who's the higher deck?
Reverend and I move at exactly the same speed.
All right, let's go ahead and roll off one more time.
I think that lets us do cool tandem abilities, actually.
I'm going to do cool tandem abilities. Look.
All right, well then, I
Art.
roll up 10.
17.
17. So we have Rev,
Fine.
All right.
and then we have Skeech. All right,
Actually,
so
can I choose to go after Skeech?
you can certainly choose to go after Skeech.
All
I'm
that for you
yeah.
to give it up.
I'm sorry.
All right, so we have
I trust you.
Skeech, and then Rev,
Uh-huh.
and then Tarquin and Anna. What are you?
I got a 10.
10? 2.
I got 10.
You have a 2.
Yeah.
Tarquin, so
Yeah.
that is 2 combat sessions where you've been tactical analysis in there.
I'm ocular pat down.
I think
Paladin now the last.
I was gonna say that's like
Yeah.
2 of you keep duking it out. They're like, I want last. No, I want. That's
right.
last.
It is
Please.
Paladin's right to go last.
All right. So, yes, here we are, and we begin with Damon. Damon, what are you doing? There was a crackling and snapping, fleshy kind of sound behind
Oh.
the altar set over here, and you just see some bells or something clanging and rising above the burning altar there.
Where are the bells rising?
Right up over here.
Oh, okay, well, I'm not gonna go that direction. Not yet, at least.
The other doors.
How close is the
Behind your
nearest
wall,
to me where I am?
To where you're standing.
Oh, well, that sounds wonderful. I'm gonna make my way to that guy, and he's never gonna see it coming.
Yeah, get it.
All right.
Slice him.
A dagger?
Slide him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Open the hands.
Yeah, you approach the zealot of the flesh there.
Weep the leg, Damon.
Oh, these are they're undead, right?
I don't know. Are these guys undead or not?
I feel pretty good about.
No, these guys are not undead. They're actually alive.
Oh,
Now.
14.
those guys.
A AC of 13 currently.
Currently.
Are they surprised?
And was this, will this be?
They would be surprised by
Did
damage.
you roll with advantage?
No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Forgot about that one.
Did we show it?
I mean, it's
Okay.
much better.
It was a fishing for a credit.
Thank
You like fishing?
Fishing?
Yeah.
Oh,
Fishing, you say?
I'm seedy.
I do crit. Yeah, you're right. I forgot. So I'm gonna go ahead and crit this guy. Thank you for reminding me of my subclass.
You know, accomplices in here.
You did it. You finished it. Caught a crit.
Excuse me while I crit.
yeah.
Excuse me while I crit this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Jimi Hendrix is rolling.
There's a lot of great right?
Oh, no.
So,
Like
just for like normal, because it's on top of a crit, which is what, maxing out all of the dice?
Yes.
Or just.
So on your crit, the weapon, each weapon, if you're using the fangs,
No.
or just a single blade.
Yeah.
Okay, the weapon itself, the damage die will be maxed, and then you would do a roll.
Is the sneak attack maxed on that too?
The sneak attack is not maxed. Sneak
Okay.
attack
You
is-
still double it though.
Make sure.
So you just
More.
add
Can I have a
die.
There we go.
How many?
Just.
All right.
4.
Yeah.
I think you've got enough. We should all be able to.
Yeah.
26.
26 points of damage, right. Damon opens up the round by driving the blade into this guy's stomach and opening him up. His life spills out before him, and a very surprised look on his face as he stares into your eyes as you kind of materialize out of the shadows. You take his life, and he drops out of combat.
For now.
Wonderful. And then I want
Yeah.
to hide again.
We're going to lay him sideways.
Oh, I don't like that.
Oh.
And,
Yep.
What the?
Yeah.
go ahead and take the hide.
Something necromancers.
Something.
It's a 15 plus a 13.
15 plus a 30. Okay, that's
Love
pretty
that.
solid. Damon, you disappear mostly behind this thing. You're kind of hiding right there.
Balance is not my thing.
You don't see me.
Love it.
There you go. Hide by the body, and the body's like on the pole, pail next to you.
Can I make?
All right. Are there any other actions? Anything you've got this round?
No, that's it.
All right. The bishop sitting up on his.
Quick question.
Yes.
Is only Damon in the surprise round, or did the rest of us succeed on that, or do we fail on the surprise?
The initiative kicked off when he was in the conversation with Vahn. The rest of you have moved up into position there. Damon was hidden in the shadows, able to do. Is that the rest of you were kind of trying to sneak up into position to allow you to get up to your points?
Not bad. Okay.
It would be very difficult for them not spot this massive group of people
That's why we rolled so good.
coming out of there.
Right? Right, Reverend?
So you all were able to have that first round of maneuvering yourself out into the field on that. So, okay. So the bishop looks out across and sees what's getting ready to go down with that. And as he reaches his arm up into the sky, he brings it down. And as he does so, from the top of the bell tower itself, the bells begin to ring. However, it's not because anything's moving the bells from down below. It is all these souls that come rushing down the tower itself in this funnel, this purple energy and racing of souls, and they come slamming out into the battlefield itself, into the ground. And there's going to be my fearful one. All right.
Yeah.
This
Where?
Cube of souls.
You can get that away from me.
slams into the ground right here.
A Zumba class starts right there.
And I'm going to need you to make a dex save of 15 dex or strength, your choice on that, Vahn.
To me?
Yes. It's Damon? Oh, disregard. Damon, you're the one who made that.
I'd say.
Sorry. All white guys look alike, man.
It's so
Roll the one.
You're a rogue. You
All right.
like evasion things, right?
yeah, but I still rolled a 1.
Yeah, so this is gonna be half as bad.
Woo!
Oh yeah, it's not reroll. Yeah, it's
What's that? No dot? Okay.
No dot.
So you do fail the save on that.
Yeah.
Your movement while you're in here is reduced by half. Unfortunately, because you failed, you are now considered grappled. Because what ends up happening is all these skeletal hands go
Dude.
reaching up out of the ground and grab Damon's ankles.
Oh.
And Damon, as you look down, you're like, oh, because it just totally throws you completely off. You are not expecting.
No, I don't think I would do that. I would have a slur of curses just erupt from my mouth.
All right, and
It is like an evil crowd circle.
what was you rolled a 1 and a what? What was the total on that?
Oh, that would be a 10.
You failed by 4 or more, so you are knocked prone by the grasping hands. So pull Damon down to the ground.
And then you go.
So, all right, that
Start with the
the bishop. That is his action for the moment, and we are going to move next down to Vahn.
So this tube of souls that come
Yeah,
down.
basically, as he raised his arm and pulled it down, what you saw is this rush of that purple swirling energy above here with the souls, channeled down the bell tower, raced past him out through that shimmering shield, and slams to the ground where Damon was. And
But
that's
can
where all
we
those-
see into it? Like, can I see Damon?
Oh, you can absolutely see to Damon. Now, the floor itself looks to be shimmering a bit, but where Damon is, there are a bunch of skeletal hands reaching out and grabbing him.
Okay.
Out of the ground.
It's a slumber party. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna worry about it. I'm gonna go ahead and use my movement to get up to the edge of it, because as far as I can see, it looks like Damon is like near the edge of
You
where,
can see the edge of where the shimmering field is that seems to be affected by this.
and I'm gonna try to like maybe cheat a smidge, because I'm gonna like hold my hand
A
out
little
to
bit
you,
closer.
but I'm not going to use my action to start helping you up. I'm just going to be there ready to help you whenever you do need it to try to stand up and do this. But I want to try to use, now that I'm closer to this similar shimmery energy from what the bell tower thing is and what this is, I want to use my action for an arcana check and see if I have a better understanding of like what this is and how it works and if it can be dispelled.
All right.
16.
16. You are not sure exactly what this is. Whatever it is he has summoned here, apparently he's using these souls to create some sort of area of impeding movement, an area of control, so to speak.
And it looks to be made up of similar magic as to what is surrounding them at that tower thing.
And the tower, yes, something all in that vein seems to be very similar. Anything else that you're doing this round? I know you had an action prepped.
No, well,
Damon.
that was my action to use for the Arcana, and I am going to use my free object interaction in that bomb that Skeech had given me. I'm going to essentially just kind of like semi like impale it almost onto one of my crossbow bolts at my side and just leave it there. As I take a cursory glance around and see if there's any
They do have that feature.
higher areas, and to see if they're like raptors. Like, are there any elevated spaces in here?
There are elevated spaces above here. The structural integrity might be questionable in some of these. You do see portions of the wood have kind of collapsed again. Some of the ceiling has fallen down into the church itself. It does not look like any maintenance has really been performed in 10 years. Heavy snows and such. Any other actions, reactions, bonus actions?
Nope. End of my turn.
All right. The
My
Tombstone Guardian is going to advance 30 feet. Actually, yeah.
We're gonna be great. We're gonna be great.
Going to charge. Field is
Oh.
just basically
Oh, but I just-
that.
I have one job.
No. You can go back to the spot.
Breaks that feud.
Chair's like great.
That's 60 feet from where you are?
Yes.
All right. So the mass of coffins and such that configured into that hulking frame begins to charge out into the church proper area there. And that is all the actions it currently has this round here. We'll move over to Mary at this point.
Okay. Can you point me out?
Yep. Mary, you are currently over here next to Tarquin.
5
Skeech
feet.
5 feet separating. She's 5 feet between you there. Yeah. So there's she's actually 10 feet out, right?
Yeah. No
So there is a Skeech on top of Sky. Echo is up over here. Vahn is looking to kind of assist Damon there. Yip Yip is back over here, and you have Revan and Anna hanging out in the back.
Okay, so Vahn is not very far from me.
Vahn is
maybe about 25, 30 or so.
5, 10, 20, 25 feet or so, 30 feet, somewhere in there, as the crow flies.
Okay. And it's in this area, it's just the one, like, can you point out all the enemies on the board in our area? Bishop.
Here, you have the bishop at the far end.
Okay,
You have the flesh mound over here. You have the death knell there. The tombstone guardian here. You have the groundskeeper there, and you have any number of wise. I charge that number. That's fantastic. So these guys here are all the zealots of the flesh. So yeah, there's a ton of enemies from where you are over here. About 80 feet between you and the closest of the zealots.
Okay, I want to activate my spiritual weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, not my spiritual weapon. My spirit guardians.
Fortunately, we had that handy.
Yay! And I would like to move just in range for the closest one to be inside it.
Okay, so you could go 30 feet at this point, since you can't use the dash option at this point. So
Important. Good thing of like clarification here. When Mary has their spirit guardians up and proceeds forward, there's going to be like a Venn diagram overlap. What happens in the area where those two auras overlap?
I guess we'll have to find out once we get done moving here.
Just like,
So Mary, where are you? Are you looking to head over towards this side or up towards this side? Because you can go 30 feet straight ahead. You can come across. Where are you looking to go?
Her and the bishop just.
Whichever direction leads me closer to Vahn.
Straight up ahead would lead you closer to Vahn and Damon at this point.
I'll do that.
And then that would overlap you from here. Skeech is getting in on the circle of friendship.
Does that put Damon also inside?
And that does put Damon inside.
Okay. So
And
the things grabbing him would take.
we'll have to see what happens next week when we come back here to the city of Grand.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, my God.
To see what happens within the cathedral. We'll be happy to see you back. You have yourself a wonderful week.
Yay.